I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
Welcome in, Sacramento. Ramie Mackloff with you on Sactown Sports, SactownSports.com, 1140, the app right there at YouTube.com/Sactown Sports. Simone Solo on the other side of the glass doing it all, and sitting in the co-host chair today is my man, Double J, Jay Johnson. How are you this afternoon,
man? You know what it is, Rhymezilla. We in this thing one time for a Tuesday going up.
We're gonna
on a Tuesday. Is today Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
Right.
Yes.
I'm doing all this Tuesday talking. I don't even know if it's Tuesday.
Yeah, you kept telling me the dates, and it was confusing the hell out of me earlier back in the room. Do you guys celebrate Taco Tuesday?
Of course.
Okay, good.
I mean, not every. Y'all have
no, not
tacos every Tuesday.
I mean, with intention. I don't know if it's gonna happen tonight, but
every once in a while I'll celebrate a Taco Tuesday.
It's in my blood.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Matter of fact, I celebrate anything Tuesday. Anything that's good. Any good delicatessens that's good on a Tuesday. Count me in, Simone. I have to be tacos.
Do you guys, okay, one last invasive question.
No, go ahead.
Do you guys know what day
starting the show off the tracks.
You guys know what day of the week you guys were born? Like, were you guys born on a Tuesday? I was born on a Saturday, so that's why I'm a party.
I don't. I wonder if that's something I can Google. Like, if I just Google my birthday,
exact date,
then I wonder if it'll tell you what day it was.
I'm not even gonna ask Simone why she knows this, but because I know I know some history of Simone and what she indulges in.
Astrology of it all.
Yeah.
Guilty.
It was a Tuesday, according to dayoftheweek.org. I was born on a Tuesday. Look at that. I'm a Tuesday baby.
Really?
Mazel.
Let me see. Where do I find this information?
I just Googled I just literally put my birthday into the Google search.
If you're listening and you don't know your birthday day, go ahead and look it up too.
It took me to a website called dayoftheweek.org.
I'm looking at that right now, and I was born on a Wednesday.
Look at that.
How sweet.
And
Middle of the week.
Simone,
and I'm a Saturday. That's why I'm a party.
Well, that's it. That explains a lot.
And I was early Saturday morning. So Friday night, Saturday morning, baby.
And that's how you rolled out.
Exactly.
From Friday night right into Saturday.
That was a 3-day weekend for Simone all day. That explains a lot.
Born into a 3-day weekend.
God bless.
And I was born, I believe, like 12:30 in the morning. So I was almost born on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I had just crossed over to
I do not know the time. I'd have to text my mom and see if she remembers the time, which I'm not going to do.
Don't worry about it.
She doesn't.
Mama Magloff right now. Let me see, 4:00 Central Time.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. She just now putting her feet up on the ottoman. She does not want to hear from Ramie right now about some nonsensical questions.
Got a cup of tea. She's watching her shows. Yeah, she doesn't need to bother with my nonsense.
Yeah, please.
Coming up, we'll talk with Beno Udrih. Now he's a scout for the Atlanta Hawks, former Sacramento King. He'll be here at 2:13. And speaking of those Sacramento Kings, Jay, I said it yesterday, man, and I hate to be the wet blanket, but good Lord, are the Kings a hard watch in the summer league, dude? And I said yesterday, to FPJ, who was here, FP Santangelo, did a great job, by the way. Thanks to him for coming in.
No doubt. Baseball guy, always got love.
That with this writer's strike and me being the TV addict that I am, like I'll take bad basketball. I'll even take bad basketball. Just give me something to watch. I'm looking for something to watch when I get home at night. So fine, I'll take some bad basketball.
With that being said, are you watching the Big Three?
No.
Okay. Are you watching the what is that thing called? The tournament?
The tournament?
Yeah, you watching tournament?
Is that going on right now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
So you're not watching that bad of basketball?
No. And Jay, last night, even I didn't even want what I was watching. I turned it off at halftime. Now I came back and watched the rest later.
Okay.
But I was like, first of all, I need a break.
No doubt.
I love that you can recognize that about yourself.
I just need a break from this. And second of all, like my girlfriend barely likes basketball. I don't need to be putting her through this.
Agreed.
So I waited until she went
won't
to
be
bed.
your girlfriend long. You keep doing it.
And then I came back and watched the rest. And Jay, just a couple of things. You realize there was 2 points scored by the Sacramento Kings in the first 5 minutes of the first and second quarters?
I did not realize
they had 2 points in the first 5 minutes of those 2 quarters.
You're schooling me. I did not know that.
And they had 16 points at halftime, man.
I know.
Or I'm sorry. They had 25 points at halftime.
I was like,
16 points in the entire first quarter. But 25 points at halftime ain't much better, Simone.
That's true.
The fact that they finished with 70 in the 80-70 loss to the Clippers yesterday is remarkable and tells you, well, I guess how good, I'll put that in air quotes, they were in the second half of the game, that they were able to throw up 45 points and make it a almost respectable 70 points that they finished with. How much of that did you watch last night, Jay?
That would be just about 0 minutes. Because see, the one thing, as you said with Kevin and Watkins just about 10 minutes ago or whatever.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm always do more like anybody else on this station, I'm going to keep it a buck for real.
Yes.
I don't mind saying some things that people around here don't like saying. I don't need to watch Summer League NBA Sacramento Kings. You know why? If there's any reason why, it's because it's part of the job description of what we do.
Sure.
But I'm also going to say this, man, I got a life. I have things to do, Ramie. I have a wife. I have a child. I have to pay bills. I got to get it done. I like cars. I like tennis shoes. I have hobbies. I like to go out, ride a bike, see, those type of things.
What were you doing which one of those things were you doing last
I was barbecuing last night. Yeah, I was grilling.
Nice. What was on the grill?
Oysters.
Ooh.
Love an oyster gang. Oh yeah, I'm a big oyster guy.
Oyster guy.
Man, you better stop playing with yourself, brother. Stop playing with yourself and come to the light, not the dark side.
You're grilling them. You're smoking them.
Oh, come on, no smoking. We're grilling, real hot, fast, man. I put a little cheese on there,
Parmesan,
bacon bits.
Oh.
I got a special sauce that I make.
Oh,
a little green onion on top of that,
Ooh.
and then you lemon juice. Then you put it right back on. So what you do is you shuck them. Bust them open, right? It's called busting them open. And then you put them back on there, put my sauce on there, because you got to get it a little wet in there, brother. You don't want it dry to burn out the oyster. Then you start to put your extras on top of it, let it all melt together, bring it back out. Boom. So
I might try that.
It's all cookies and cream.
I can't believe you haven't taken on grilled oysters.
I just don't like oysters. It's not if I liked oysters. Hell
See, I'm not a slimy or a cold guy. Yeah, they got to be cooked.
Okay, I like them both ways.
Does the texture change when
it does?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because remember,
it firms up.
Yes, exactly. Plus the cheese, the bacon bits. That's.
I mean, you add cheese and bacon bits to anything. You put that
I'm
on
at
a
least
shoe, I'll take a crack
absolutely.
at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. A little polish, a little wax.
Jay, you were also enjoying the home run derby last night.
Absolutely. I didn't leave work here. Again, doing my job duties, descriptions. I didn't leave here till it was over with. When it came to the home run derby, and we'll talk about that coming up here soon. Mm-hmm. But that was part of it, so I didn't walk out here until like 7:45.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I watched a bunch of bad basketball, and you were having a good old time. Over the grill with some oysters.
I'm trapped at the Apple store trying to figure out my 2 phones, so I was there till closing.
Oh, and then shut it down with them?
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, no, I was a good person, and I recognized that they were going to close, and my phone was still updating. So I was like, I will just go home in the hopes that this will be rectified.
You went to the mall?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's terrible,
yes.
Man. Look, let me tell you something. I don't want to get on the whole Apple and Galaxy and Samsung and Android type of man. I have both. So when people always want to tell me, "Oh no, Apple is this and Apple," I'm like, nah, it's not. I'm telling you, I have both phones, and they both do the same thing.
I do like to give the non-Apple people a hard time, but I used to be an Android person, and they're
the same.
See, I did BlackBerry. God, I sound so old. BlackBerry, and then I went over
Simone Kardashian.
Mine had the little roller ball. I just thought I was it. I was the it girl. It was crazy.
You see, this is what talking Sacramento Kings Summer League gets you, Ramie. This is what happens. Yeah, when you start the show at 2 p.m. smack
Am I
dab.
supposed to just ignore it?
Yes.
We can't just ignore
Yes,
it. No,
you are.
we can't.
You are.
We are your home for Kings
We are,
basketball,
but-
Sactown Sports.
Absolutely. But you know what we do here is we're going to tell the truth.
And I'll tell you the truth. I watched it.
I mean, you
And
said,
I didn't enjoy it.
okay, Simone, you cut your mic off. I'm going to cut my mic off. You talk about the Sacramento Kings summer game. There you go. Ramie, since you want to go ahead and say the Sacramento Kings home, there you go.
The second half was better. Good night for Kobe Jones. All right. Finished the night with 19 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 1 turnover, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. And I liked what I saw from Nimi before he left at halftime with the injury. The dude is getting physical. And that's what I need. I talked yesterday with FP about the fact that last year we looked at Keegan and we were like, oh, that could be a dude. That's a guy that could help crack the starting lineup, help you win some games. We just need to change our perspective a little bit and start looking for who could just be a role player. You know what I mean? This team still needs a backup center. And so far, what I've seen from Nimi and what we saw from him last year in the G League is encouraging to me, that you could have somebody behind Domas who can score the basketball. Last night, he was awful around the basket in terms of scoring, but can grab some rebounds and be a little bit aggressive and assertive on the defensive side and get physical with some dudes. And he's big. He's like 7'2", 245. They need some size. So I like what I've seen from Nimi. I liked what I saw from Colby Jones yesterday. Outside of that, you're right, Jay, an absolutely brutal watch, and I would have rather been grilling some oysters.
Look, I'll tell you this. I didn't watch the game last night. I went ahead and just watched some of the highlights, saw what people like yourself said. When it comes to the Kings so far this summer league, man, I'm always looking for a man amongst boys. We saw that with Keegan Murray. I think Jabari Smith has shown that, of the Jabari Smith Jr., former, his father being here in Sacramento in the heyday down in Houston. I think he's shown that. I'm looking for someone who doesn't belong, Ramie. I'm looking for someone that, when they're on the court during the summer, they're dominating. They have no business even playing out there, and you play one game, 2 games, and you just shut them down, a la Keegan Murray here after the Cali Classic. Yeah. And quite honestly, for me, with Nimi, that's what I've been looking for. I haven't seen that. I know he was the G League MVP, blase. We keep going down that way. But I don't see anyone on the Sacramento Kings Summer League that's really, for me, going to affect what goes on in Sacramento. And I say that to say this. I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm also looking for a lot more from Kessler Edwards. In the 3 or 4 games that I've seen, it's just not there, and I'm expecting him to take the next level. And I'm Ramie, let me make sure I preface it. I'm not saying this guy has to go out there and put up 35, 40 points, because as we talked about last week, Anthony Morrow holds the record with 47 points. So I'm not looking for 50. I'm not looking for 40. It's rarely done. But a solid 25, 9 and 7, show me that you belong and you're really running everything and you're, doing some things that you've been working on over the last couple of years, the shot, the handle. I'm not seeing that from Kessler. I'm not seeing that from Nimi. I'm not seeing, the things like Keon Ellis looks like he can be cut from the mold of Davion. On that defensive, I think he's got to create a little more for, what I keep on saying with De'Aaron. He's got to create a little more. I think he's definitely got to work on the shot a lot more. He can't shoot it except the floaters, the mid-range, anything post 20 feet. I mean, it's pretty much clanking off the rim. I mean, what else am I looking for when it comes to the Kings Summer League? Go get a life. Do something else. It's summertime.
It's 2:00.
It's real talk though. Like it's real. You can watch all these games via YouTube. You don't have to watch it live.
I need to get a live.
Yeah, do something else.
Sprinkle a little below deck in there.
Their first basket was at the 6:45 mark yesterday by Keon Ellis. And then they didn't score again until a 3-pointer from Aleem Ford at the 5:24 mark. They had 5 points. They had 5 points 4.5 minutes into this game.
Okay.
Yeah. See, now, if it was the G-Man and he was calling the game, then I'd come right here.
We got to get out of
NBA
here.
TV, go get a life.
We got to get to a quick break. On the other side, former King Beno Udrih, now scout for the Atlanta Hawks. He'll join us.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa, Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa, Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hello, Sacramento. Doug Christie here, and I have something to share. Recently, I asked myself to determine the one most indispensable thing I use to do my job, the one I couldn't do without. The winner, forget the phone, which I live on, and the video editor, which makes my life understandable. The winner was the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. Yes, the one I tell you about each week keeps me going comfortably supported, pain relieved, and vital. So it strikes me that if Good Feet is the most important go-to tool to relieve pain or just keep me going, shouldn't you give it a try? I think so. Come to the Good Feet store today for a free, no obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk. Experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Ramie Makhlouf with you, rotating co-hosts all week. The high flyer, Henry Turner, will be here in the co-host chair tomorrow.
HT in the building.
He's watching Summer League, I bet you.
Man, one thing about HT, he going to come in here and tell you the truth, too.
I can't wait. Because, I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
Look, I'm not saying I haven't watched because I have, but I'm just saying last night, nah. Wasn't no need to.
No. And I'm with you, man.
I caught the game on the backside and watched some highlights via YouTube.
I'm with you. Joining us now on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline, Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, former King and longtime NBA player, now a scout with the Atlanta Hawks. It's our pleasure to welcome in Beno Udrih. Beno, how are you this afternoon, man?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Doing well. As a scout, I'm sure you got an eye on the Summer League. How much, we were just talking before the break about, how much we can take away from watching these games. How much as a scout do you take away from these Summer League games?
I mean, a little bit, depends on the games, who's playing, but it's very hard to figure it out how to scout because you never know when the team's going to start pulling, players that are actually on the roster, NBA roster already, when they're going to start pulling them out. So then the games kind of turn into a different, not like an NBA game, So, but yeah, it's fun to watch.
Beno, there are very few people in this world having been born in another country, played basketball professionally outside of the U.S., and then be drafted to the NBA and have a sustained career like yourself, who played, 13, 14 seasons, I believe. Speak to the task at hand that Victor Wembanyama is really going through right now in his first few weeks of the NBA pro.
I mean, yeah, it's not an easy task, but, if you're willing to work at your game and, willing to listen and willing to grow, anything is possible. So, and I heard Victor is really true pro. So he's already ready. I mean, he was playing pro overseas. He was preparing himself to be on this stage for a very long time. So I think, the future is very, very, very bright for him.
And the Kings have their own guy who's coming from overseas this year, EuroLeague MVP Sasha Vezenkov. What was the bigger adjustment for you, the game and the difference from European basketball, or was it off court life and getting used to life here in America?
Yeah, it was a lot easier to adjust to the game because the game, is just faster and it's a lot more open space. But yeah, lifestyle, it was different, because when I was growing up, we were practicing twice a day. So pretty much every day was basketball and basketball alone, And here, when you have practice, you have then the whole afternoon after the practice. If there's no game in the evening, you have the whole afternoon for yourself. So you can do whatever you want, So that was a little adjustment. But, even that was, at the end worked out fine for me. So
definitely. Bino, in our conversations that I've had with you, one of the things that definitely touched me about you, man, is the love of basketball that you have. It definitely shined through immensely, man. I must say that. The second thing that stuck with me with that conversation was how you told me going to a top flight organization like the Spurs really set your basketball professional career over here in the States, and how much it really meant to you having jumped around here to Sacramento and Miami and different places throughout that. I mean, how much does that really, really matter, the organization setting up for a player's development in their future to you?
I mean, I think it's huge. Like just the organization, when you feel like you want it and you feel like they have like a confidence in you and that they have support. Players at the end of the day are human beings, like people like to look at them like differently, because they're so athletic and they're really, really good at something, But at the end of the day, players have feelings, they see things, they hear things, and that can have a big effect on development of players as well, So, it's huge in what organization, and it's crazy too. Like you would think, the NBA is pretty, every team is similar. I'll tell you now, every team is different. So every team does it differently. I mean, they have little things they do the same, but like every team wants to have something on their own, So it's just how it is. I guess every company does things differently as well, not just NBA and basketball, anything.
Do you feel like we have just one season and you're on the outside looking in, but still in the league? And I'm sure you talk to people. Was last year more than just one good season for the Kings? Do you feel like they got this thing on the right track and they have some of those qualities that you were talking about?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, first hiring Mike Brown was a really, really good, thing for them. I mean, I play against Mike Brown, and I heard things about him, and he's like on point. There's no double standards, and in basketball, you can't have double standards. You got to treat everybody the same. Like, somebody makes a mistake, you got to try to teach. And he did a really good job, put the Kings back on track, and I think we're gonna be watching Kings in the playoffs, for quite a while now.
Bino, man, speak to this is something I always love to ask guys like yourself, real hard nosed, go get it, don't care who's in front of you. Who do you enjoy watching in the league right now? Because I know you love basketball, big man. I know you watch it. Of course, you got to scout it. But like, who do you really enjoy? Sit down and take your job away from it. Who do you really like watching right now?
Well, Luka Doncic is not a bad player to watch, right?
Okay.
No, but like I like to watch when I see a player that it's moving very efficiently, like no wasted movements and stuff. And I think Devin Booker is one of those players. I love to watch. He knows where his spots are. He gets to them efficiently, and that's why he's so hard to guard. And that's why he's so efficient. So he's like that one player that I really like to watch. And, we could go down the list, but like he's one of the guys, And, who was that? That was Bradley Beal was one of those guys too, but, he's been having injuries lately, so didn't get to watch him so much.
And now those two guys together in Phoenix, that might be dangerous when you team him up with Kevin Durant, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right, Kevin Durant.
It's hard to keep up with all of it.
It is.
It can be hard to keep up with all of it. That's Beno Udrih, scout for the Atlanta Hawks, former King, longtime NBA player, and our guest for the last few minutes. Really appreciate the time and the insight, Beno. Thanks a lot, man.
No, thank you, guys.
And he joins us on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one stop Honda shop. That shows you how hard all these NBA moves are.
It's too much going on.
This man is in the league. It's like, oh yeah, Kevin Durant is on the Suns. That makes me feel better because that happens to me all the time.
All
Jay.
the time.
Where I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's on that team now, huh?
Have you ever sat down with someone that works for a team and off season is going on, right? And you're having a conversation like, hey man, what do you think about? We didn't get that person. Oh, we did get that person. Have you ever had that conversation with someone?
Yes,
it's interesting. Like these dudes are so locked in on what they have to do in their job. It's like, oh, you know what? I don't even worry about off season. That's the GM. That's the, whatever. I'm working with my 5 guys. I'm pitching to these guys.
Right.
Or, I'm working with the jump shotter. We're in Arizona working in the desert, 7-on-7 passing league or whatever. And, oh, you know what we did? Oh, man, I can't believe that.
Yep.
Cats be locked in.
Yeah, but that just shows you like they can get lost in the sauce just like we can. You know what I mean? With all this movement that goes on in the sports world today. Last night, it was the home run derby. Jay watched the whole thing.
I did.
I wanted to, and then I kind of forgot. But it was good.
I was watching the Summer League
I
instead.
heard it was good. We'll be back right after this.
Sactown Sports is your source for the 49ers.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful.
Did that leave a bitter taste in your mouth?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me and Cal had a long meeting the other day. We watched tape. We talked about it. We put it behind us. And just going through the tape and just look how sluggish and like how bad it looked on tape. Like I said, just reflecting on last offseason, it kind of played a big role in that. And I never put nothing like that back on tape again.
Tune into Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest 49ers offseason developments.
Are you ready for an incredible pre-owned blowout at Elk Grove Kia? Elk Grove Kia has got you covered with over 300 used cars, SUVs, vans, and trucks available. Every single one of our vehicles has gone through an extensive 150-point inspection, so you can buy with complete confidence. We stand by our cars and offer a bring-it-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, simply return it. Worried about your credit? Don't be. At Elk Grove Kia, we have 100 years of combined experience in helping our customers get the best financing options available. Charge-offs, repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, no problem. Our team specializes in finding solutions for every credit situation. But before you even step foot in our dealership, let us show you what we can do for you. Give us a call or visit our website, and our dedicated team will work with you to find the perfect vehicle and the best financing options. Elk Grove Kia is your destination for incredible pre-owned deals. Visit us today at Elk Grove Kia or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916 520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf is the only sport where elite athletes can compete fairly against players with less talent when both give maximum effort. The handicap system takes into account the differences in skill levels as well as the difficulty of the course to properly allocate handicap strokes to ensure as even a match as possible. Of course, it's dependent on the integrity of the players' posting scores, which has not changed since the first rudimentary attempts in the 17th century. Today, handicaps are given with 1/10 of a stroke. In the 18th century, the golfer's manual described 4 handicap options. Third one stroke every 3 holes. Half one, a stroke every 2 holes. One more, a stroke a hole, and 2 more, 2 strokes a hole. There was plenty of pre-round negotiating before settling, with many matches being won or lost on the first tee before the first ball was struck. The term handicap did not enter golf lexicon until the 1870s. The term originates from a popular pub trading game known as hand in cap. Post your scores and keep a handicap. It keeps the playing field level. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
Station in Sacramento, giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
That's what it is. Ramie Makloff with you, as I am every afternoon. Double J, Jay Johnson, in the co-host chair this afternoon. Simone on the other side of the glass, on the updates and on the ones and twos. Doing it all.
We're with you every day of the weekday. I mean, of the afternoon, too.
I just meant... Yes, you are, and I appreciate you for it. You know I do.
Much love.
I was just saying, I'm in this chair hosting every day, every afternoon. That's all I'm out. I meant, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate
we just playing
you
with
guys.
you, brother. We know that.
Yesterday, Home Run Derby. Tonight will be the All-Star Game. I do love the All-Star Game. And tonight, I'm going to make sure I watch the All-Star Game.
So you're not watching the Kings versus the Bulls Summer League?
No.
Okay,
Are they playing tonight?
I believe so.
Are you joking? That was in my headline. Yes.
Yeah, of course I heard it in your headline.
Of course.
No, Jay and I were
big game, huge game.
I'll probably watch both. I got the 2 TVs in the living room. But I'm telling you right now, the All-Star Game is going to be on the big TV. Sound up, because I do love the All-Star Game. Now, this was also the plan yesterday, Jay. Okay. But in case you missed it, when I was talking to Whitey and Watkins in the crosstalk, my brain has not adjusted to West Coast start times since my move from the Midwest. It's been...
I got you.
Do you like it? Like, what is the...
No, I don't. I got to be honest. I don't like it, but it's probably just because it's not what I'm used to. You know what I mean?
True.
Because, you have your routines.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And my routine is I get off the air, I go home, I meditate, I walk my dog, I start making dinner, and I turn on the game or whatever, the Home Run Derby, whatever the case might be. But by the time I do that here, it's over. I turned it on last night.
Not at 9 o'clock.
I turned it on last night. Vlad Guerrero was holding up the trophy. I was like, oh, man, that's right. This thing started a while ago, you idiot. But I went back and watched the highlights, and, man, they put on a show in Seattle last night, including J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez, put on a show for the hometown fans in the first round.
Oh, my goodness. You're in that upper deck and left. You're leaving with a souvenir. Oh, my God. Another. The only thing stopping him is the clock right now. What a show, Julio Rodriguez.
41 home runs
Bombs, brother.
in one round.
Did you? Well, I was going to say, did you see it? You did not.
Saw the highlights.
You saw the highlights.
I saw the
Dude,
highlights.
just bombs.
I
man.
know.
I mean,
I know.
bombs, too.
Yeah.
And, everyone's into the exit velo, the velocity, and the launch angle right now. I mean, and to the point, you could see anything that was about 99, 100 exit velocity and 37 and above, launch angle was going deep, right? I mean, this dude was hitting like 109 off the bat and 43. I mean, dude was hitting bombs.
It was a really stupid choice. And yesterday, when FP Santangelo Jr. was going through the matchups, I was like, they put J-Rod against Pete Alonso in the first round. Terrible choice by them to put two Titans like that against each other in the first round and have one of them eliminated immediately.
Right.
Is just a very, very dumb decision that Major League Baseball made.
The thing that, and thank you, I should take a bow. Matter of fact, I'm going to stand up, take a bow that I picked Vlad Guerrero Jr. to win it, right? But you know what, as I looked at it, and you guys talked about it yesterday, and I calculated, I put too much thought into it within 5 minutes, right? But Pete Alonso had the wrist injury the last couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't figure that he would be as quick and on pace and on point as he's been at. So I was like, okay, I could see him losing. And then remember, like I said, they put Vlad against Mookie Betts, and love Mookie Betts. Again, I love everything about Mookie Betts except for the fact that he played for the Red Sox and that he's a Dodger.
Yeah.
Two of the worst teams that possibly he could have ever donned a jersey of. But the way he plays, who he is, dope guy, love his life, salute to him. But he's just not big enough, man. He's not built for it.
He's not built
for it. His swing's not built for it.
It's a heavyweight event.
Absolutely.
And Vladimir Guerrero is certainly a heavyweight, and he took it home with this home run right here.
And Rosarena falls short, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has won the 2023 T-Mobile Home Run Derby at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. 16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
I did hear in Simone's update, first father-son duo. See, I'm listening to Simone. First father-son duo to bring home a home run derby, and I thought it was very cool. I've loved Vlad Guerrero Jr. since he came up because I was a huge Vlad Guerrero fan.
A little Expo action.
The senior, yeah. I've told you this.
Told me you got
I
family
in Montreal, and so we used to go to Expo games pretty much every summer. Loved Vlad Guerrero, and it was very cool to me after he won it. All the pictures of Vlad Guerrero Sr. and little chubby Vlad Guerrero Jr. falling around
at all the All-Star games and stuff. Yeah,
that was so cool, man. That was very cool to see that in the aftermath of that victory, and good for him. He put on an absolute show, very much like Julio Rodriguez this year. He put on a show. What was it?
25 to win.
No, it was a few years ago. I want to say it was 2020 that he came in second.
Yeah. He had the record for most home runs in a round with 40, right. And Julio broke it yesterday.
So good for him to finally bring home that crown.
Yeah, man. I thought the names fit the billing yesterday, Ramie. Good names, great players in the league today, as we talked about. Pete Alonso, Rodriguez, Guerrero, Mookie Betts. We had young guys like Luis Robert Jr. I thought it just really all came together when it came to names. That's one of the things the NBA, is having issues. We talk about it every single year. Goodness gracious, we're getting the Trey Murphy Juniors and, those type of guys. No disrespect to him because he finished second, but we're getting those guys and not the big name guys.
They got to pluck guys out of the G League to go and win the slam dunk contest. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to him either. No. But it's the home run derby. Now I'll say this: it's easier to plan that show. You know what I mean? Like the slam dunk contest, because so much has already been done on it, it relies on creativity and doing stuff we've never seen before. You know what I mean? True. Where the home run derby is the home run derby. You go up there and take big hacks. You know what I mean?
But I do think, and we've seen it, especially over the last 3 or 4 years. And again, this may just be my nuance, being able to see the different nuances of playing baseball all my life. But there is definitely a way to go about it.
Sure.
Because you've seen Pete Alonso, and you saw it yesterday with Rosarena, where these guys were going up there, and it was
strategy.
Yes, it's very quick, short. It depends on, we kept hearing it depending on what feed you watch. And if you watch, ESPN 4-letter 1 or 4-letter 2, depending on who the analyst was, they were talking about the pitchers, the BP pitchers, and their style of pitching, where Pena was kind of throwing to Rodriguez very short, quick, no leg movement, no lower body movement, where some other guys, like Snyder, or excuse me, not Snyder, but Rodriguez, or who was the other, Mookie Betts BP pitcher, they were using all body type situation. So it takes a little time. Mookie Betts never used the timeout yesterday.
The BP pitcher, and FP brought this up yesterday, that's a huge factor in this thing, man, is if you have the right guy who can put it in the right spot at the right speed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That plays a huge factor in this thing. The one thing, Jay, and like I said, I didn't watch it live. I went back and watched the highlights later, that I saw a lot of people complaining about on Twitter when I went back and looked. They were saying that because now they're on the clock, that's
3 minutes.
So a lot of guys, they just want the pitcher to work fast, just pitch after pitch after pitch. Where in the past, guys would hit home runs and stand there and watch them. You know what I mean?
That's part of it.
People were saying it was happening so fast that the production crew couldn't keep up. The camera work wasn't keeping up.
Yeah.
And you could barely even see where a lot of these home runs were landing. Was it a difficult watch for you yesterday from that standpoint?
I liked it, but I actually used the 4-letter part 2.
Okay.
Because their feed had a split screen. Yeah, they had a split screen. So they were showing where the ball, was landing a lot of times. They were showing I don't remember. I don't know the particular name.
It's not like
name,
quite
but
augmented reality, but something like that. They're generating it.
Yeah, I can't remember what you call that, where it kind of follows the ball path. Yeah, like a ball tracker type situation. But so ESPN ESPN 2, they were showing that split screen. They were showing the pitching, and then at the same time, they just had a couple of cameras that was out in the outfield and showing where a lot of these balls were landing. And of course, that's part of it. To see someone hit a ball 440 feet and plus, and that's crazy, man. It takes talent.
Yeah, and people who are like, oh, the home run derby is boring. Like, it's not, man. And I say this in the most complimentary way possible. It's such a freak show.
It is.
You know what I mean? To watch those guys go up there, it's not normal what these guys can do up there with a baseball bat. It's insane.
It's something that I really enjoy. A couple things is you marvel what you're saying. You marvel at the fact that these guys are they're doing something that most people can't do, right?
Yeah.
And it's an art form. And it's the same thing I said yesterday with you and FPJ. A lot of people growing up, knowing that I played baseball, everybody always said, I hate to watch it, but I love to play it.
Right.
And that's the same thing. Now, of course, I have a different eye. I have a keen eye to see certain things, but that's the whole point is I tell people all the time, you want to see an athlete make a fool of themselves, tell them throw a ball or swing a bat and watch how ugly they look.
Yep. For sure.
Some of the greatest athletes
in Victor Wembanyama throughout the first pitch.
Come on, man.
It was ugly.
Dude, look
really
like,
ugly.
Come on, man.
By the way, real quick, this just came down as we were talking about this, Jay. During the first round of Monday's home run derby, Luis Robert felt tightness in his right calf. He underwent an MRI in Seattle. He's listed as day-to-day, will not play in tonight's All-Star game.
No need to.
As a precaution.
Look, I've already got the clam chowder bowl. He's already went and got the clam chowder bowl. He's already visited the Space Needle. I competed in the home run competition. My feet is up now, brother.
I'm done.
And you got to hit him with the Manny Ramirez. Oh, hamstring tightness, the back problem. You know how it goes, man. I mean, I would do the same thing.
Right after this, an NBA superstar just hit the trade block. Why now? We'll discuss.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Cal Ripken in 2001 won the MVP there. Yeah, and then he hit the home run. I think it was off a Dodger Chan-Ho Park, if I remember right.
There's no way Chan-Ho Park was in an All-Star game. If he was, that's
okay. Kyle, if my man, I feel like it's. I could be wrong.
Chan-Ho Park was a 2001 All-Star for the Dodgers.
Bro. Woo! Oh, Chan-Ho Park sucked.
Well, Cal Ripken hit it out of Chan-Ho Park.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and 0 down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Sacramento, get ready for the launch of Flex Power Tools at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Come on down this Saturday, July 15th for a one-day Flex Tool launch party. Witness live demos, score unbeatable deals on all Flex products, and get a free 3.5 amp hour 24-volt battery with every kit purchase. Grab a rear handle saw kit with a free 10 amp hour battery for just $299. Power up with Flex at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Don't miss it this Saturday, July 15th at 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
It is Sactown Sports. I am Ramie Mackloff, Jay Johnson, Double J, Big J, whatever we calling him. He's in the co-host chair. Simone on the other side of the glass coming up at 3 o'clock. Debo Samuel, sensitive. We'll get to that coming up.
A little emotion.
At 3 o'clock. But today, and Jay, this is a guy whose name we had heard might be on the trade block as the NBA offseason was about to get underway, but then never really nothing really surfaced with that. But then today, or actually this was, I guess, late last night, reports surfacing that the Pacers have contacted the Raptors to discuss a Pascal Siakam trade. That's per Michael Grange, who covers the Raptors for Sportsnet.
Across the border.
And you asked this question when we were talking about this before the show. Why now, man? Why now after like most of the big free agents have been signed up and most of the money in salary cap space has been soaked up?
I don't get it, Ramie. I've been trying to figure it out over the last few hours. Masai Ujiri, who's, considered to be one of the most talented guys in anyone's front office, a great mind of the game, and GM Bobby Webster up there. I just don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know if it was smarter to trade him and put him on the blocks prior to the draft, and as you said, free agency, compared to just kind of sit back and look and see, right now, compared to maybe they're just trying to fill out and see if if he's going to get value or what type of value he's going to bring back, and then maybe they sit on it and wait till the trade deadline or some form or fashion within the season. But look, for instance, it doesn't make sense to me because if you look at, use the Kings as an example.
Mm-hmm.
He's been someone that's been tied to the Kings for last season or two, right? That the Kings would be interested in. Depending on who you believe and what you read, he's been tied here to Sacramento. With that being said, common sense would tell me if the Kings were to obtain Pascal Siakam in some form or fashion, it's going to include Harrison Barnes, isn't it? Well, Harrison Barnes just signed as a free agent here with Sacramento, which means he cannot be traded for 6 months.
Yeah, till after
December 13th or 14th, something around
till the
there.
trade deadline.
Yeah, about a month prior or so in between. So let's call it December, Christmas, whatever.
Sure.
What's the point?
And that's going to be the case with all these guys that just signed their free agent contract.
I don't get the timing. I don't understand what they're trying to, achieve with this, unless they're trying to get a fair market. I mean, they're trying to get market value and see what he is worth. And then as they enter the season, because one thing we know, Toronto's pretty much mailed it in. Mm-hmm. They're not competing for anything.
And what we had heard, and maybe this is what put them in this spot, Jay, was they wanted to keep Fred VanVleet. And if they weren't able to keep Fred VanVleet, then it was going to be sort of a fire sale up there in Toronto, and they'd start to build around Scotty Barnes and whatever other young assets and upcoming draft picks that they have. So maybe that would explain the timing, that they were waiting for Fred VanVleet to sign, and that was one of the last big names to drop when you look at how NBA free agency played out. And so the chances are, I would think they've been shopping, or at least let the NBA world know, hey, it's open season on Pascal Siakam if anybody is interested. And we're just hearing about this now because the Pacers are the first serious inquiry or the first talks to really go anywhere. You know what I mean? But they if that's the case, they put themselves behind the 8 ball by hinging their plans and when they were going to do whatever they were going to do based on when and what Fred VanVleet decided to do. You know what I mean?
And the one thing about that, Ramie, is there's 2 things we know about Toronto with the Raptors. Is Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster are very difficult to deal with from all the reports we know. They want a lot for a little. And if we're giving you someone at OG Anunoby or Pascal Siakam, you're going to have to pay it. You're going to have to pay like you weigh, right? They're very difficult to deal with. The second part of that, too, is we know because of the things he has done, Masai Ujiri, in the past, dude is very calculated. He is really up on point in what he's trying to do when it comes to developing, branding, and, adding to the team, adding and subtracting to what his organization, needs on the basketball floor. Quite frankly, though, man, and I go back having to work with Masai Ujiri when I was down working for the Clippers and he was with the Suns, and then over at a couple other different national networks I worked with, we had him on as guests and stuff. Dude is very, very, very confident in what he does, and how he said, how he talks. And he believes in what he does, man, at least from my point, my standpoint. I just think he missed on this one, man. I really do. I think if you had any inkling of bringing Fred VanVleet, which we kind of knew, the writing was on the wall. It seemed like he was going to walk away.
It was.
Because he was going to get paid.
And he got paid.
He definitely got paid.
Yes, he did.
Maybe they just kind of, like you said, they got caught maybe in that in-between position. And it's like, and they're probably going to have to sit on him. I don't know what the Pacers are, offering. It probably would have looked better if John Collins could have got spun back to Toronto, if because it sounds like the Pacers and the Hawks are leading in this race. But I think he missed on this one, Ramie. I really do.
And you might be right about that. He is a very good GM, though.
He is.
So you would think he can swing this in some sort of way to be beneficial to them. I'll say this: if as long as they're not trading Ben Mathurin in the deal or Tyrese Haliburton, who we're going to hear from later. Again, he's talking about the trade from the Kings. That's coming up in the 3:00 hour. That's a trio that could do some things. Not right away, but I think as Mathurin gets his legs under him and Tyrese Haliburton is right on the verge of breaking through as like a star in this league, that's a big 3 that could be pretty dangerous out east.
Does Miles Turner have to be part of this?
I would think he's going the other way to Toronto.
And I think Indiana's probably done with the Miles Turner experiment anyway. Yeah, it's like, go ahead and peace out, big dog.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. Do we have time, Simone? You got the clock over there. Do we have time to just get in this Zion Williamson thing that we had planned here?
Of course, whatever you want.
So Zion Williamson yesterday, he was on the Gilbert Arenas podcast from a very nice set in Las Vegas.
Getting it in.
Everybody is really, really doing it up in Las Vegas.
NBA Con brought him out, brother.
I know. And,
except for Jay.
And it looked like, I just saw the clip. I didn't see the whole thing. It looked like they just pulled Zion. He was like walking through it because he didn't have a seat. He didn't have a microphone. Like everybody at the panel was sitting down and Zion was standing up and they were like trying to hold a microphone. And Gilbert Arenas asked him a real question and something that's on a lot of people's minds. And that's probably not an easy thing to talk about for Zion Williamson, which is his weight and how hard it has been to stay in game shape for Zion Williamson. And to his credit, he gave a very honest answer.
It's hard, man. Like, you're 20, 22, got a lot of money. It feels like all the money in the world, man. It is hard, but I'm at that point now where, because of certain things, I'm putting back like the wisdom around me. I don't want to say older because they take offense to it. But, I'm just putting people around me with wisdom, put me on game to certain things, and just go from there.
Gave you an honest answer.
No doubt.
It's hard, man. And it is hard for anybody who's ever struggled with their weight. It is and look, man, I'll make jokes about it as much as anybody will make jokes about it, but it's a real struggle, man. And
Absolutely.
I used to be 3 bills plus 320 to be exact. And I can tell you the majority of that weight I put on in the age range that Zion is in right now. And I wasn't making as much money as Zion Williamson, but you get done with college, you get a little job, you have more money than you've ever had. It's still not a lot of money, but you have more money than you've ever had. You're probably busy working, so you don't have time to really think about or put the effort into cooking and eating healthy. And Jay, I can totally sympathize and relate with what Zion Williamson is talking about right
100%,
now.
man. I always play around and joke on here. When the delicatessens hit the table around here, brother, it's very difficult to stay away from that. I get that.
For real.
The other part, too, when he said something that was part of this, and this is something I always continue to say, go get you an OG, man, and let them lace your tennis shoes, Ramie. He said it right there. And when you jump around from South Carolina, no disrespect to South Carolina. If you ain't been to South Carolina, you ain't missing a lot. But if you when you grow up in South Carolina and you jump over to New Orleans to the boot, that's a whole different atmosphere. That food is completely different,
man.
right?
I haven't been in New Orleans, but I want to go, and I want to go only for the food.
Absolutely.
Just strictly for the food.
It's real, isn't it? And
I hear great things.
It's a culture, man, when you go to the boot. When you go to Louisiana.
coming out right here on the air.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's there. Crawfish boils abundance. But I appreciate that, and hopefully he
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, man. He's a ball player, man. Hopefully he's learning from some of these OGs, these older people, just seniors.
Quick, tell you when I was Zion's age, my daily routine in terms of what I ate. So I was working a double shift. I was producing an afternoon show and producing a Brewers post-game show.
Okay.
So I had time to go and pick up my host and get something to eat and then come back to the station in between the shows. So it was fast food, of course, because you're running and you're working. So I'd go grab fast food. And then on the way home, late night, we get done like 11, 12 at night. On the way home, I'd stop at the gas station or the convenience store. And it was always something salty, like some chips, some pretzels, something like that. And then something chocolatey. Candy bar, brownies, cookies, whatever, and then something like some kind of gummy candy, like some Twizzlers. Like every night, I was doing that, man. And that's how you get to be 3 bills.
Ooh, brother, I'm glad you're still with us. Straight up.
That's how you get to be 320. So I relate to what Zion is talking about. We'll hit a quick break right after this. Deebo Samuel, not quite as open in a recent interview. We'll discuss.
The Kings are running it back.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes. Alex Lynn just went above the arc with a 2-hand throwdown. And that was as nasty as we've seen him in a Kings uniform.
And welcoming some new faces.
Oh, and here comes Vezenkov. He gets the big finish. Fisher rejected by Mr. Vezenkov.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, playing last year in AAA, Brent Rooker said the last thing on his mind was making an All-Star team. Well, now he is an All-Star, named to the team as the A's representative before the last game of the most recent homestand against the White Sox, and he punctuated that announcement by blasting his 14th home run, a 441-foot shot to straightaway center field. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
If you want to hit the golf ball farther and straighter, the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers you the opportunity to experience the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA Tour professionals. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is an indoor facility that opens onto the driving range so you can see your all-important ball flight. With the advantages of cutting-edge technology and analyzing your ball flight, the Hagen Oaks professional staff will make you a better player. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, or call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Y'all ready to do it again, Sacramento? Country in the Park 2 is coming to Heart Health Park at Cal Expo Saturday, September 9th with Cole Swindell, Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, and more. Plus, a mechanical pool, line dancing saloon, and all the food. Tickets start at $40 or grab your Coors Light Y'all Access passes for $125. For more info, visit SactownSports.com. Country in the Park 2, brought to you by Hoblet Dodge, E2 Family Winery, and Hyatt Vacation Club.
The Gold Rush Classic takes place July 13th and 14th in Rancho Murrieta. Come join the fun and play golf with a celebrity, or just check out the concert. The Gold Rush Classic, where the stars and guitars shine. For more info, go to goldrushclassic.org.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Hour 2 here in the afternoon. Ramie Mackloff with you, along with Double J, Jay Johnson, Simone, who you just heard on the update, on the other side of the glass, on the 1s and 2s. Coming up a little later this hour, I should have my rundown up before I start teasing things. Oh, Tyrese Haliburton, 313. He'll be talking about surprise, the trade from the Kings.
Again?
And how he felt about that. Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Who's he play for?
The Pacers.
Oh, okay.
He's with the Indiana Pacers.
Man, at this point, I thought he was still on the roster.
But Deebo Samuel yesterday was on with Zach Gelb, who CBS Sports Radio. You can hear him most nights following this show when we don't have A's baseball or Sacramento Kings basketball. You can catch Zach right here on these airwaves. And I know Zach a little bit. I don't know if you do, Jake. He's a good dude.
Just a pinch.
I like Zach Gelb, and he had Deebo Samuel on the show yesterday. And Deebo apparently not as much of a fan of Zach Gelb as I am, as he started to ask him about his comments after the NFC Championship last year. And I should mention, just for context sake, he had asked him, of course, about the quarterback situation,
of course,
earlier in this interview. So the two things that Deebo has probably been asked about more than anything else in whatever media he's done this offseason. So he asked him about the quarterback, and then Zach Gelb asks him about his comments after the NFC Championship, where he says they would have won. They would have whooped the Eagles had they had one of their two starting quarterbacks, and this is how things played out after that question.
Deebo Samuel here with us. Well, something that is your call. I saw what you said about the Eagles back at the Super Bowl at Sirius, where if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, you guys would have won that game by double digits. Why would that have been the case?
I don't know. That's old.
So do you not still believe that?
I mean, I do, but I mean, we're not. That shit is like we're not gonna keep talking about it. I mean, I said what I said.
Gotcha. So then what happens this year when you play Philly on December 3rd?
I don't know. Just wait till week 13, 12, whatever week it is. We'll show you.
Well, then you know how that's going to go down. You're going into Philadelphia. Those fans are going to be booing you loud. You have a message for Eagles fans?
Hey, guys.
Yeah?
All right, we're good to go.
That's the PR person right
What do you mean? We have Deebo on right now.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to head into camp right now.
Oof,
are you
awkward.
serious? Okay. Thank you. There you
Thanks,
go.
Bye.
Deebo Samuel
Thanks,
right there
bye.
doesn't want to answer a few questions.
I didn't catch that.
Are you serious?
I didn't catch
We got
that
hung
the
up
first
on
time around.
because all we did was ask him about the quarterback situation and then Philadelphia, and we got hung up on by Deebo Samuel. That's a joke. An absolute joke.
So there's Deebo with Zach Gelb yesterday hanging up. I didn't catch the PR person.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
I'm out.
I didn't catch that the
out.
first time I heard that this morning. Jay, that was an overreaction if I've ever heard one from Deebo Samuel. Just hanging up. Those were not tough questions, man.
No.
You know what I mean? But I said this last week when we played the clip of George Kittle interrupting Kyle Juszczyk's interview. And he didn't hang up. He was a little bit
playful.
He was a little bit, he poked fun at Dan Patrick. Like, hey, don't you have any other questions to ask? You've been asking me about quarterbacks my whole career. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Here, I'm going to hand the phone back to Kyle. But I said then, it seems like this stuff is finally starting to get under these guys' skin. And they're tired. Now, the extra wrinkle of what Deebo said about the NFC Championship. But like I said, that proceeded the questions about the quarterback, which these guys have been hearing ad nauseum for years, not just this offseason, but for years. And I think it's finally starting to get under their skin a little bit, and they're tired of it.
I think, well, I'll say this, Ramie, as someone that's done both, there are ways to go about it and handle it, right? I'm pretty sure PR, communications team, whoever, product he was hawking, told him, hey, look, he probably did 3 or 4 back to back. You know how it goes, right? We're in this. It's easy. It was easier for him to just be like, yes, no. He could have one word answered it. He could have said, let anything. He could have said anything to the point of, hey, look, man, I said we could have won. We didn't. Let's move on. You know? Or even, hey, let's move on. But I also say this. And this is part of what I'm saying. I've done both, Ramie.
Sure.
There is a point in time that an athlete can kick something back at a media person, and a media person has to be just as sharp that we're asking these athletes to flip it and turn it around. And good people do it. A lot of times the people who are right now, especially in the national narrative, they don't handle it the best way because it's media at this point has come to the point to where it's like, I'm a star, I'm a celebrity, I'm just as big as you now. And I have an ego and I have things that need to be stroked. And I'm just as important as you are. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I get that. We're on an equal playing field. I'm with that. But there does come a point in time, and this is one of my big time pet peeves. Do your job and ask a different question.
I was just going to ask you because a debate ensued on Twitter. I saw our guy Stats Guerrera getting involved in it of like, is this an overreaction by Debo, or do people need to start coming up with some new questions? But But Stats was saying, like, look, man, if you're interviewing a 49er, and especially a member of the 49ers offense, and you don't ask them about the quarterback situation, in some ways you're not serving your audience. You're not doing your job completely.
But see, I disagree in that, in the fact of if this was 20 years ago, I would have said that. But I also get there's a point to being fresh, being different, setting yourself apart, and the fact of we got Twitter, we have internet, there's so many things that are at the tip of your fingers. If you've had Debo, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Jimmy G, Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, we can go down the line. If you've had any of these guys on your show, all you have to do is Google their name, and the last interview, they got the same question.
Right.
Again.
So the answer is out there is what you're saying.
But exactly. But I'm also saying this too, Ramie, is come up with a different way to ask the question. Come up with something fresh or new. Come up with a different direction. It doesn't always have, hey, look, and Zach, again, I know Zach a little bit, and I know Zach he's got a little fire to him. He's not I don't consider Zach being the talking head show. You know, he's got an opinion. He comes from a different angle. But I'm just saying, you already talked about, if we get any 49er on here, first question is, well, talk about your quarterback. Bro, we've had that 89 times, which is the same thing I'm going to say next segment with Tyrese is, listen, bro, we've heard your story 99 times. It's okay to come back and be like, next, move on, bro. I was part of the Kings. I didn't want to be traded. Next question. That puts all that to bed, and vice versa. That's where the media has to kick in and come up with some new stuff. We need to come up with new stuff. We need different voices. We need different names.
If I'm Debo and the rest of these guys, I mean, part of my frustration is with the 49ers. You're right. You're right in what you're saying, in that if you're gonna ask a question about the same thing that 100 people have already asked a question about, come up with a new wrinkle or a different way to present it.
Don't we do that every single day in the morning when we're trying? We don't want to ask the straightforward same question.
Right.
We say that all the time, right?
How can we create a different angle?
That's right.
But at the same time, some of their frustration has to be with the 49ers organization. Like, hey, man, can we get this quarterback thing figured out so I don't have to keep answering questions about it? You know what I mean? We've all been in that position in our job. You know what I mean? Like, if I'll give you an example. There's a Target in my neighborhood. You've joked about how often I go to the Target. I like going to the store. I enjoy going to the store.
Nothing wrong with that,
there was a fire in the Target in my neighborhood, so it's been closed. It opened up a few days ago.
Oh, I know you were dreading.
Oh man, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. I didn't have my Target visits, and they had a security guard. They had a security guard posted up front. You know what I mean? And I and probably every other person that visited that Target that walked past that security guard was like, hey, man, when are you guys opening back up? You know what I mean? And if I'm that dude, I'm getting sick of that question. I'm going to my boss. I'm like, hey, man, can we put a sign up that says when we're going to open back up?
Put a banner up.
Put a banner up that says when we're going to reopen. That's how I'd feel if I'm if I'm these guys, if I'm George Kittle and Debo Samuel and I'm tired of all these questions. I'm going, can we get this quarterback thing figured out so I can stop answering these damn questions?
But see, and this is the thing, and the question is answered. How can you create any other answer for the 49ers quarterback position right now? We don't know. Talk to me when week 1 comes and whoever is playing, then ask me the same question, because it's different. Right now, it's July 4th, brother. You just popped off some fireworks, Zach. Stop asking me the same question. Like, what's wrong? And I mean, now he could have said that, right? Now, and that's why I said Debo should have been like, you know what, Zach, I get the question, man. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, me, whoever, someone's going to play quarterback week 1. I'm a wide receiver, brother. Now, if you want to ask me about, what I think Brock is good at or Trey is, that's a different angle. But I don't know, just like you don't know. Next question, please.
Yeah. It's a bad look, the hanging up and putting the
Truth.
PR person
It makes
on,
you so
right.
it serves you emotional. Yeah,
it comes off as
Very
reactionary and, like you said, emotional and temperamental when Deebo Samuel does that. And I mean, we've heard plenty from Deebo Samuel, and that's not really that. He doesn't come off as that type of dude. You know what I mean? But he's just, and maybe that's whenever I have a bad experience with somebody just out and about, I'm like, that person might just be having a bad day, and they're taking it out on me. You know what I mean? And I go on about my life and leave it be. Deebo might have been having a bad day. We don't know what happened. A very different approach to answering the same question over and over again from Tyrese Haliburton. We'll hear that next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third, your scorer is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
I said this before. It's dangerous playing this as bumper music because I want to sing along too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Top,
Mess with me, you know I got it.
Exactly.
See, it's pretty quick to change some things if you're talented, Ramie.
It's almost instinctual, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I hear it, and then I start singing along with it. Next thing you know, I got an FCC violation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all right. You're on your Deebo Samuel.
Coming up on the show, it's feeling it or fraudulent.
Oh, it's fraudulent.
We're
I don't even know what the question is. It's for non-playing.
The words coming out of the mouth of the Blazers GM.
Oh, that's fraudulent.
Oh, that's fraudulent. All right, we already know. And I would probably. What? The Kings are running it back.
They are, actually.
That was not the time, big voice guy. But Tyrese Haliburton has.
Love Tyrese, man.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
And a very good basketball player. On the verge, like I said before, on the verge of stardom and taking that next leap in his career. And I hope he does. And he was on the Paul George podcast. The P podcast? The P podcast?
The P pod, yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Something
Be careful.
like that.
Be
Sorry.
careful.
Sorry, again,
Yeah,
FCC
be careful.
violations.
Be careful.
And of course, he was asked about this is a very, very much treading the same ground that we just did with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Jay, he was asked about the trade from Sacramento to Indianapolis and the fact that it hurt, and reports that he had tears in his eyes when he had heard about that trade. And just so you know, he heads off the haters who are like, man, are you talking about this again? He does it right off the top.
All right, I'm going to preface this to say, if somebody sees this snippet and they say Tyrese cannot give up the trade, I'm about to go crazy because it always happens. I can't get I get asked the question, I just answer.
I had to ask.
No, for sure. For me, it was the biggest thing was like the Kings hadn't been to the playoff. I had never seen the Kings in a playoff game ever up until this year. Like I was like Kobe and Shaq were together. I was probably like 4 or 5, but I wasn't really tapped in the NBA at that. You know what I mean? I was little, so I'd never seen it before. And so going to Sac, it was like I had the I was like in my mind, I was like, I get the opportunity to build something here. Like I was excited about that. Like I wanted to be part of the group with like Fox and those guys to be like, we were the ones who turned this around and made it like people were interested in the Kings again. You know what I mean?
So he takes a very different approach from what Debo did.
Yep.
And Jay, for my entertainment and my appreciation, I admire his openness about and honestness. Even though we've heard, dude, he's been asked this question
74 times.
Exactly, in the year plus since he's been traded. But that's a dude being real honest and open and transparent about how that trade made him felt. And I respect that he very easily could be like, man, we're doing this again. Yeah, you know what I mean? Or
like Debo did.
Like Debo did. But I thought that was a real honest and genuine answer. And it reminds you that these are people. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you've ever been fired or had to leave a job that you didn't necessarily want to leave, or that you just have ties or friends or relationships or whatever the case. It's a tough thing, man. It's a tough process. And yeah, it hurts. And especially when you're the one being shown the door.
Yeah. I have actually. Thankfully, I've never been fired in radio.
Which is laid off, which is technically being fired.
But coming back to Sacramento, I had left another national network to come back to, assist my mom, and definitely got that question 100 times. What are you doing here? Why you leave here? Especially because it's a big name network. But I do appreciate Tyrese's upfront honesty. One thing about Tyrese, and I think that's what makes him so great, he'll forever have a place here in Sacramento. He'll always be a part of the Sacramento lore. He'll always have family, friends, ties to Sacramento. Dude is just genuinely a good person. And everything that we've heard, everything that we've seen, it continues to be that. But I'm on the same thing. I'm on the same train, Ramie. I understand Debo went one way, Tyrese went one way. I probably would go down the middle. I'd probably kick back and be like, dude, stop asking me that. But let me also tell you this. Debo kind of took the low road. Tyrese took the high road. But, man, again, stop asking the same questions. These are and shouts out to PG, who, according to everybody that's 20 and under, is the greatest ball player.
Yeah, what is going on there, man? Talk about that sometime. Yeah, what is happening there?
Paul George is like the GOAT in the NBA for 20 years at 21-year-olds and under. But come
watch some basketball.
Dude, come up with it straight up. Can't we talk about what your favorite restaurant is? Well, can we talk about, your barber or anything?
He went on to describe how he found out that he was traded from the Sacramento Kings.
Y'all know, Aaron always he would mess with me a little bit about it, but we would just kind of laugh about it. And he called me that morning and was like, yo, I think you're about to get traded. And I'm like, yo, fam,
are you serious?
We play Minnesota tonight. Stop playing. I just want to, I'm eating breakfast right now, bro. Get off my phone. Aaron sometimes right. Come on, bro, get off my phone. He's like, no, I'm for real. I'm like, no way.
And then he called George Yang, his former college teammate at Iowa, who was in Philly, because he had heard a rumor that he was going to Philly for Ben Simmons, which, can you imagine Kings fans being stuck with the albatross of the Ben Simmons contract? And then he found out finally from Woj that he had been traded, which is something that's happening more and more often, that these guys are finding out from the Wojs and the Shams of the world that they've been traded, which, man, that's, I don't know how exactly that happens, but there's got to be a better way for these guys to find out and to get that news from their own organization, their coach, their GM, somebody, instead of finding out through a report like you or I are finding out that Tyrese Haliburton is getting traded. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of cats out here who aren't good at their jobs, Ramie. And a lot of times these dudes are getting passes. These dudes are getting the thumbs up because of what they do, who they're affiliated with, who they're attached to. And again, one thing I'm never going to say is, look, I'm not the best, I'm not the greatest, I'm not whatever, but there is opportunity for everybody to grow. There's a lot of people in the game, in the sports game, in the sports media game, who just need to do that. They need to step their game and ice their chain a little bit more, Ramie, and stop getting away and stealing money, man, because there's some things like that's so disrespectful to the utmost. If I was to find out that my whole life was changing through a Woj bomb, oh yeah,
through a tweet,
man. Look, my agent got to go. believe me, I would be hurt, but Tyrese responded his own way. I'd probably respond a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you mean to tell me you couldn't pick up everybody has their cell phone. It's 5-year-olds with cell phones right now, Ramie. You couldn't pick up your phone and tap in with me and let me know, you know, like, that's not it.
And whoever Woj's source is, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, before you go public with this,
let me holler.
Let me shoot a text to Tyrese Haliburton.
Period.
Wait 5 minutes.
Period.
Wait 3 minutes. That's how long it'll take me to send this text.
But that's what I'm saying, Ramie. There's a lot of people who don't do what they're supposed to do, who's getting the flowers.
Right.
And it's time to start making some of these things known. You know, we let those things pass. A lot of people don't want to have those conversations. I don't mind saying, dude, you did your job poorly. Mm-hmm. Just like if somebody was to say that to me, okay, you're right. I got to step my game up. You're 100% right. I'm not on point. You are 100% right. Take it.
I didn't want to end the Tyrese Haliburton talk on a positive note, on a high note, and with some praise for Sacramento Kings fans.
Kings fans and Kings in general, they're always like, have been, for my whole life, have been looked at as like almost like a laughing stock. You know what I mean? But their fans are like, they're probably like the best, highly elite fans in the NBA. Like, top 5 fan base in the NBA.
Yeah, top 5.
Stopped himself.
Yeah.
He wanted to say the best.
Hey, man,
look. Then he remembered, I'm a pacer now.
I'm a pacer.
They're going to get upset.
Man,
so he put him in the top 5. But he wanted to say the best. That was him saying they're the best fans in the NBA.
The field house would have booed him the very first day. He would have touched the floor if he would have said Sacramento Kings were the best fans, which they are. We are. I mean, that's just part of the game.
You think that's the end of it? Or Tyrese Haliburton's answering these questions?
Oh, he's getting some more.
All right.
Yeah, there's too many podcasts out here. They're not on point, Ramie.
All right, we'll hit a quick break. On the other side, the Blazers GM commented on this whole Dame Lillard situation. Are you feeling it or fraudulent when it comes to the things that he's saying? We'll discuss next.
The Kings are running it back.
Hammers it off the dribble against Gobert, and he was fouled. Oh, my, what a take that time by Domantas Sabonis. It leads Gobert. Drive strong, two-hand flush off the dribble, thrown down by Trey Lyles.
And welcoming some new faces.
Yes. Toby Jones with 2 more.
Now they go to Duarte in the corner for 3, and he rains it down.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday forecast certainly is going to feel warmer, especially if you work outside this afternoon. We'll have plenty of sunshine, light southwest winds, highs in the mid-90s with overnight lows in the lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Delivery's at the door. Can someone please unlock?
It's been an eventful afternoon with a spike in bookings at Claudia's event space.
We'd love to host Mermaid Fest.
She was already planning on having more event planners on hand.
500? That's a lot of tails.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Summertime is a great time to get your home evaluated for solar, and while you're at it, make sure your roof is in good shape for all seasons. Hey, Jason Ross here to tell you about ACR Solar and Home Services. Go to acrsolar.com to find out all the different things that they can provide for you. And while we're all watching utility costs go up, along with everything else, why not make the most of the sunshine beating down on your roof? Harness that solar power and cut those rising utility bills while at the same time improving the value of your home. ACR Solar and Home Services makes it easy with a simple evaluation that'll show you just what it would take to get your home generating savings that help your bottom line and help protect the environment. So start now, and while you're there, ACR Solar and Home Services can make sure your roof is in prime condition. So just go to acrsolar.com and start your savings today. ACR Solar and Home Services, quality, value, and integrity
since 1979.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Calling all kids. It's Kids Cheer Free all summer long. Beginning Sunday, May 28th, bring your kids ages 14 and under to the ballpark on Sunday home games for free. After cheering on your green and gold, race around the bases with Stomper on the same field that your favorite A's players do. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree. That's athletics.com/kidsfree.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Boot Barn honors a Western legacy built by those who persevere through resourceful determination. Ariat honors that same legacy by bringing innovative technology to classic pieces. Driven by a dedication to the craft, Ariat blends timeless Western artistry with advanced performance features for the modern cowboy and rodeo athlete. Out west, ingenuity is second to none. Ariat at Boot Barn.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Ramie Mackloff with you every afternoon, rotating co-hosts all week long. The high flyer, Henry Turner, will be in the co-host chair tomorrow.
Doing it big, brother.
Double J in the co-host chair this afternoon. And he's left Simone all alone on the other side of the glass, on the updates, on the 1 and 2s. She is crushing it over there. And every Tuesday at this time, I almost forgot what day it was, Jay. Just like you did earlier.
I keep telling you that.
Every Tuesday at this
Friday?
time. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We do a little something we call Feeling It or Fraudulent. And we take something from the sports world and we tell you all about it. And then we ask, are you feeling it or is it fraudulent? And Jay, for the first time since the Dame Lillard trade request or demand, we've heard extensive comments from Blazers general manager Joe Cronin, who spoke at the Summer League yesterday. And I'll just take it statement by statement, and then I'll ask you and myself. And if y'all care to comment out there, text 916-339-1140. Give us a call, 800-920-1140. You can always comment on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Sactown Sports. Give us those likes and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, I'm going to read some of those. I've been very bad about that today, but I will read some of those. Tell us if you're feeling it or fraudulent. So Joe Cronin, Blazers GM, he said, we're going to do what's best for our team. We're going to see how this lands. And if it takes months, it takes months. Jay, feeling it or fraudulent? Is he just putting on his poker face of like, hey, man, we'll just sit back. And if this takes months, then it takes months. We got to do what we got to do.
I'm feeling it, man. And
I think this could drag out.
Yeah, I think this isn't a quick, turnover tomorrow, next week. I think it's almost the opposite of Pascal Siakam. Mm-hmm. I mean, the worst kept secret we've known, since And I don't care. Dame said this last week that he wanted to be traded. He wanted to be traded at the end of the season. I don't think he just wanted to be the bad guy. He wanted something to happen, that took place to kind of got him out of the forefront of being the bad guy. But this is definitely going to take time. I can honestly see Dame starting in Portland and somewhere throughout the, first 3 or 4 months of the season prior to the trade deadline. Like, I don't think it goes to the trade deadline, but I think within, 3 or 4 months of the season, especially with this little chump in season tournament that Chris Verla likes that no one cares about, is like, yeah.
Don't you disrespect the NBA Cup, Jay?
Yeah. Is that what we're calling it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Cup.
The Cup?
Yeah.
The NBA Cup? The
Cup.
NBA Cup?
Yeah.
The Commissioner's Cup or the NBA Cup?
I was reading NBA Cup.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I think it's going to take a little time. How about yourself?
I could see it playing out. And I think so many people think that as soon as an NBA star demands a trade that they're going to get out or shortly thereafter. And folks forget, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot until Woj reminded me in an article I read last week about this whole Dame situation. Kevin Durant asked out of Brooklyn last offseason, and they slow played him and told him, look, man, we're not finding value on the market. We'll keep looking for a trade, but we're going to play this season, start the season with you. And then later down the line, after Kyrie requested his trade, maybe the Nets lowered their demands a little bit for KD. They finally found a trade partner in the Phoenix Suns, but these things can drag out.
Oh yeah,
he'll get out of Portland, but I'm
Sooner
with
or
you, Jay.
later.
I think we might see the season start with Dame Lillard in a Blazers jersey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not at all be surprised. He went on to say, I don't feel that I did everything I could because I didn't get done what I needed to get done. In that sense, I do feel like I failed Dame. Our goal was to win now as quickly as possible. If he didn't feel that way, it was a failure on my end. Jay, feeling it or fraudulent?
I'm feeling that. I mean, look, it's okay to come to the table, and this is what I said the last 30 minutes, to come up and say, man, I messed up. We don't do it enough in life. I think more now than ever, we're a forgiving community, forgiving society. We understand, and I'm taking this to another level, but it's very difficult to live these days, brother. And that means your job. That means when you go home outside of your job, within your family, bills. It's very difficult right now, one way or another. And if he's failed the position of helping Dame, assist him in moving on or whatever the reasons Dame wants to move on, right? If he feels that way, then I'm feeling it too. I'm only going to take it to what he's saying. Now I could call BS and say he's lying, but I think Dame and Portland, both of those guys, both of the entities really love each other. And it's just a relationship that just isn't going to work or hasn't worked.
Run its course.
Right. And to me, Joe was just saying that. And he's also saying, look, my bad. I failed you, brother. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A lot of GMs would spin that.
Of
course.
You know
Be
that.
like, no, it's not a failure. But I don't know how else you frame it. Even if you feel like you've done everything that you could do, you failed at the very least in selling Dame on what this plan was.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And making him feel okay about it, making him feel good about it, and making him feel like it was something he wanted to be a part of. At the very least, you failed at that, if not at the job of putting quality players around him and giving him a chance to win a championship. You know what I mean? It's definitely an honest answer, and a more honest answer than you'd get from a lot of GMs who will give you GM speak.
Yes.
If you asked them, hey, did you fail your superstar? You know what I mean? Most of them go, failed. No, I didn't. You know what I think? Too much ego, too much pride to sit back.
I gave him an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. to sit back and say, I failed. No, I didn't fail. He wasn't loyal or whatever the case.
No, it's coming.
Make this thing ugly. You know what I mean? But he didn't. He's saying, yeah, man, I at least could have sold Dame on the plan, and he wasn't convinced that this was a good plan.
Real quick before you move on, LaMarcus Aldridge, CJ McCollum, Jeremy Grant. Those are probably the three best players that Dame has played with. None of those guys are championship level.
Not good enough. Not good enough. And the last thing he says is that Dame is obviously a very important person and player to us. What the rest of his career looks like matters to us, and we care about that. At the same time, we have to do what's best for us. We've got to find the right deal, find the right makeup of the team. we are going to build forward with. You hope you find that perfect situation where that lines up and he goes to a place he wants and you get the best return possible. It's complicated and usually doesn't work out just like that. It's possible, but there is a lot of work involved. Jay, feeling it or fraudulent that they want what's best for themselves and for Dame?
I'm feeling it. Again, I think Joe was kind of on, he put his emotions on his sleeve. He's wearing them. He's letting people, within that athletic interview, I think he is telling his side of the story, which we haven't really heard. And I do believe, again, there really hasn't been any mischievous, ongoings when it comes to Dame and Portland. For the most part, Dame has always said, I don't like A, B, and C. And Portland has kind of jumped for Dame in many ways. They just haven't been able to make, as Joe kind of alluded to, they haven't been able to make the biggest splash. They made a splash. They went inside. I mean, Jeremy Grant is getting paid, man.
Mm-hmm.
They've made different moves with the CJ McCollum and trying to bring guys in and out, the Shaedon Sharpe. They swung, look at Scoot Henderson. But there is something to not being able to make the puzzle all fit together. And Portland's not the only team that's doing that in the NBA. I mean, look what the Sacramento Kings have went through over the last 16 years prior to this year. They were trying to make the puzzle pieces fit. And it's very hard. I mean, there are organizations who've been competing for 40, 50 years in different leagues and never won a championship, Ramie.
Yep.
Hasn't even sniffed a championship. And so, yeah, it's hard. It definitely is. It seems like it's easy when we are on this other side of the glass or, on the mic or sitting on our couch, but I'm feeling it, man. I think Joe was kind of spitting and he was being real.
I think it's fraudulent. I think if Joe Cronin could just have an open bidding war for Dame Lillard and get the best trade, the best value that he could possibly get in return for him, he would do that.
Think so?
And not give a damn where Dame ends up or how happy he is about it. Yeah, even if he does have the warm fuzzy feelings that you're saying he and the Blazers organization have for Dame, it's my job to if I'm the GM to get the best deal, the best return that I possibly can.
So then why hasn't it happened?
Superstar? Because Dame has some leverage.
What leverage does he have?
In calling these other teams or having his people call these other teams and say, hey, you don't want a disgruntled Dame Lillard, and driving down his market price through that.
But then if you're coming from the standpoint of Joe, you're like, well, then good riddance.
No, I'm saying his market. I'm saying his price, his market value has been
right,
driven down by the fact that other teams don't want that mess that would come with trading for a disgruntled Dame Lillard.
But I do think there's a floor to the situation of like, you're not going to, I don't care if you Dame is saying he ain't coming or whatever. Dame's not going to sit out for 3 years and miss money.
No,
now.
But if you've suppressed the market enough to where Miami is the best offer, then Dame will get what he wants.
Yeah, see, I would probably say the opposite in the fact of then I'm just going to trade him wherever the heck I could let him go. Because I'd rather, it's one of these things is if he's not going to come and play, he doesn't want to be a part of Portland, whatever we want to call it, then he's got to go. Because if not, then we're paying someone that's not going to play for us compared to, I guess what I'm saying is anything better than nothing.
Yes. But I think that's to me, that's what they're saying, and eventually trading him to Miami. They're going to keep trying to find ways to get what they want for Dame in some kind of package.
Agree.
While sending him to Miami, because that's where he wants to be, not because they want to make him happy, but because they almost don't have a choice. We'll hit a quick break. On the other side, big announcement in the sports world today. Or was it? I don't know. Jay will tell me.
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
How do you feel about go to the game with a glove guy to catch foul balls?
Oh, gosh. No, absolutely not.
No?
If you're still in grade school, it's okay. But guy who brings glove to field, it gives energy. It's just not a move. It's just not something in my opinion, a grown adult should do.
It's Whitey and Watkins from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Sacramento, get ready for the launch of Flex Power Tools at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Come on down this Saturday, July 15th for a one-day Flex Tool launch party. Witness live demos, score unbeatable deals on all Flex products, and get a free 3.5 amp hour 24-volt battery with every kit purchase. Grab a rear handle saw kit with a free 10 amp hour battery for just $299. Power up with Flex at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Don't miss it this Saturday, July 15th at 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Y'all ready to do it again, Sacramento? Country in the Park 2 is coming to Heart Health Park at Cal Expo Saturday, September 9th with Cole Swindell, Chris Jansen, Dylan Scott, and more. Plus, a mechanical pool, line dancing saloon, and all the food. Tickets start at $40 or grab your Coors Light Y'all Access passes for $125. For more info, visit SactownSports.com. Country in the Park 2, brought to you by Hoblet Dodge, E2 Family Winery, and Hyatt Vacation Club.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
PGA.com reported that no matter how long you've played golf, you've found things that annoy you on the course. Here's their top 9 pet peeves. Number 9. Do you think I can hit yet, guy? He hit his tee shot 200, but he's waiting for the green to clear from 250. 8 is where's the beverage cart guy who always need more aiming fuel? 7 is the since I'm not playing well, I'm going to complain about everything. 6, leave the green messy guy who refuses to fix a ball mark, spit sunflower seeds, and tap cigar ashes on the green. 5 is the member who acts like he owns the course guy. He's no favorite of the superintendents. Then there's the 1 second, let me count my strokes guy. If you've hit that many shots, just pick it up. 3 is the oblivious to open holes in front and people on our tail guy. 2 is the cell phone talker guy. Hey, we're playing golf here. And number 1 is the good Lord, they're pairing a woman with us guy. While these guys are looking in the woods for a ball, the lady is kindly waiting in the middle of the fairway. What are your pet peeves? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
That's the station. I am Ramie Makloff with you weekday afternoons. Jay Johnson, Double J, in the co-host chair this afternoon. Coming up at 4 o'clock here on the show. A little national attention on the situation in Oakland with those A's? Can that make a difference? We'll discuss. But Jay, what seemed, based on the reaction on social media and the internet, a big announcement in the sports world today. It's a part of the sports world, if you can't tell by the tone of my voice, that I don't follow all that closely. But Tyson Fury, boxing's lineal heavyweight champion, and Francis Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight champion, will fight October 28th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The announcement clarified that the fight will take place in a regulation boxing ring under boxing rules, including 3 ringside judges using the 10-point must system. A couple things remain unclear: the number of rounds, whether Fury's WBC heavyweight title will be on the line, and whether the fight will count toward their professional boxing records. Jay, you're a boxing guy. You're one of the few boxing guys
left on this earth. I know,
left around, last of the Mohicans, so to speak, when it comes to boxing guys. But is this, because the last time I remember something like this happening, it was
Floyd Mayweather and McGregor.
Floyd Mayweather and McGregor. Yeah, for some reason I was going to say Pacquiao and McGregor, but it was Floyd Mayweather. You're right, and McGregor. And that was, now I watched it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't watch it, mostly because those are both guys I wouldn't mind seeing get knocked out. You know what I mean? Okay. So I tuned in. But I knew going in, and I think most people knew going in, that's a stunt. It's a publicity stunt. It's a cash grab, so to speak, if you listen to the show. Is this that, or is this more than that in the combat sports world?
No,
thank you.
It's Thunder Lips versus Rocky.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a spectacle.
Okay.
It's a spectacle, Ronnie. Right. I mean, we're talking about the heavyweight champ, Tyson Fury of the world, a known commodity, someone who's beaten Deontay Wilder twice, 2 out of 3 times, draw with him in the first one. I still, to this day, don't understand how, can't fathom how Tyson Fury got up after getting knocked down in the last round by Deontay Wilder.
I do remember that.
Dude rose up like the Undertaker. But the Gypsy King is what they call him. Francis Ngannou, former UFC heavyweight champ, as you said. To me, he is one of the guys, despite I don't care what any UFC supporter or Dana White says, he's one of the guys who got away. He did not lose his heavyweight championship. Now, why is
he not in the UFC? Is it just a money thing?
Yeah, pretty much what most of the fighters have problems with UFC is they're just tired of being paid kibbles and bits compared to, what the UFC brings in on these cards, and what other professional, players and people who compete in boxing, things like that, what they make when it comes to being at the top of your game, like Francis.
Chicken.
That part. Yes. Like he was the heavyweight champ of the UFC, and he was still getting paid kibbles and bits. While in boxing, he would definitely be making a few $1 million. And so he walked away. He fights for the PF League, Pro Fighting League at this time. But yeah, this is no more than a spectacle, but it's a great spectacle.
You're here for it.
I'm all for it, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Is Ngannou? Does he have a boxing background?
Very, 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 very little.
Okay.
Tyson Fury is gonna absolutely abuse this guy. Tyson Fury Tyson Fury is very skilled in what he does. He is more than most heavyweight boxers that most people, who don't watch the fight. When you say heavyweight, you're thinking of knockouts, right? Mike Tyson, you're talking about guys who are pushing 200 and over pounds, and they're looking to put somebody down like a tree being cut. Tyson, he's got heavy hands. Don't get me wrong. Big fella. He's a boxer, though. He keeps you on the end of the jab. He's quick-footed a little bit. He's got a little flavor, a little style. And that's why I say this is going to be a spectacle, because one thing Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou both do, they talk. They talk a lot.
Which I do enjoy.
They're characters. Yes. Oh, they're going to turn this up, man. I'm telling you.
That was the other thing I liked about the Mayweather-McGregor thing is those dudes are both talking good game.
Big-time energy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And believe me, Tyson is going to be the type of person that's going to tell you, I will kill, I will knock you down. He's told people I will kill you in the ring, and he shouldn't be saying those type of things, but he's going to come at Francis and he's going to call him all kind of names. Francis is going to call Tyson all kind of names. They're going to threaten each other. They're going to threaten folks' lives. They're going to talk about the coach next to him and how they'll slap them in the mouth. And you already know what's going to come, Ramie, is somebody is going to get in there. And 9 times out of 10, when it comes to heavyweight, somebody hits the canvas. It happens. It's just part. Anytime you 240 and 250 and 220 and you get hit with that type of momentum and strength, you're going to touch the
thing.
floor.
Like you're saying, Fury is a heavy favorite in your eyes of winning this thing. But Ngannou could catch him with one and put him down. But then again, with what we saw in the Wilder fight, I don't know if you can keep him down.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's human.
I don't. I mean, Wilder hit that cat with a right hand.
I saw that.
That honestly, I thought he was going straight to the casket. And Ramie, he rose up. I believe it was by the count at 8. He bounced up, and I was like, no. At
it's
6,
going up tonight for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He was going up. He came up.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ramie. Unless this thing is an exhibition where, and I don't think it should count towards Fury's, belt. I don't think it should count towards their records. But I don't think these guys really like each other either, and I think that's part of it. Is McGregor and Floyd, I don't think they really had any disdain or dislike, but I just think it was more for the money, and, Conor talked his way into that, which he should have. I think these two don't really like each other.
The real fight to be had for fight enthusiasts, I think, my amateur outside opinion.
Speak on it.
It's Ngannou and John Jones.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, inside the octagon,
yeah,
absolutely. But I don't
Is there
think
somebody out there that's like that would be a big ticket fight as an opponent for Fury? Is it still Wilder?
Well, everybody wants him to fight Usyk, who holds all the other belts.
Okay.
But the thing with Usyk is he's Ukrainian, and he took arms. When the war came, he actually stopped fighting for a while. Now he just had a fight a couple months ago, and they were supposed to go toe to toe. That's probably the biggest in the heavyweight championship, just because they hold all the belts. Fury holds the WBC and the lineal, while Usyk has all the rest of the belts, WBA, IBF, IBO, all that type of stuff. But that's probably the biggest fight in heavyweight right now.
Yeah.
And for sure, John Jones, Francis Ngannou, but it's not going to happen because Ngannou's like, Dana White, he's come out and be like, Francis will never fight here again. And Francis basically called UFC's bluff.
Right.
They said, look, dude, I need my money. Unlike most of these other guys, I'll go somewhere else. I'll go do me. I'm big enough. And of course, attitudes and all that type of stuff, ego jumped into it. And one thing about Dana, if you pull his card, he's forever going to stop liking you.
Yeah.
That's just part of it.
Yeah. Dana White really rubs me the wrong way.
He does too,
I
man.
do not like the way that dude does business.
Yeah. He's successful.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. It's working.
Yeah.
It's working. A lot of
habitual line stepper.
And a lot of people, not just in the sports world, do business like him. And I am not a fan of the way that they do business.
Real quick, before we move, someone put on Feeling or Fraudulent. Pac-12 will be around by 2026. Real fast, because it's interesting. It popped up. That was on the text line.
I don't know what the hell is going on with. I'm not the biggest college sports guy, Jay.
Yeah.
All this conference shuffling. That's going on. I can't even keep up with who's where, what conferences are still alive, what's dead, what's going on. I don't know. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say
fraudulent.
I'm going to say fraudulent. Yeah. It's going to be dead. I don't know I feel like there's going to be 4 conferences in about 5 years, and all of the college sports world will be in those 4 conferences.
That's a conversation to have this week sooner. I think we should have that. We're going to talk. I know we're going to talk Pat Fitzgerald here within 30 minutes of college, but I figured that'd be a leeway, a tease into that.
Yeah, we can get into that. I don't mind, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. Right after this, it seems like more and more people are paying attention to what's going on with the A's in Oakland. Does it even matter? We'll discuss next.
Get all the latest 49ers news heading into the 2023 season on Sactown Sports.
I think Brock was smart, and we kind of facilitated that he met with a bunch of different surgeons. The hope is he's ready for the regular season. We'll take it as it comes, as we're doing. He's working incredibly hard, and the early returns are really good.
Sactown Sports, Sacramento's official home for 49ers football.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Wells Fargo gives you access to direct deposit funds up to 2 days early.
Plus, if you look at the X and Y axes,
What if everything came 2 days early? Like the weekend.
Well, that was a pleasant surprise.
You can't get everything early, but when it comes to direct deposits, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/get-early to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Not all direct deposits are eligible. Early availability is not guaranteed and may vary between deposits from the same payer. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Sammy Hagar in the circle. Friday, July 14th, the Lake Tahoe Outdoor Arena at Harvey's. The party you don't want to miss. Sammy Hagar. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and 8concerts.com. Don't miss Sammy Hagar in the circle.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Hour 3 of the show underway. Ramie Makhlouf with you. Jay Johnson in the co-host chair today. Simone on the other side of the glass, doing it all and doing a fine job of doing it all over there, and we appreciate you.
Thanks, Mom.
Also appreciate all you out there listening on the old radio signal, 1140, SactownSports.com, that free app that we got, YouTube.com/Sactown Sports. Hit that like button, subscribe, do all the things to help us grow this thing so we can give you even better sports coverage here in Sacramento about all the goings on. The Kings, the 49ers, we're your home for both of those here in Sacramento. Also your home for A's baseball, at least for as long as there's going to be A's baseball in Oakland, Jay. And
speaking into existence, Ramie.
I'm trying, man.
Forever.
I'm trying. And look, let's be honest, Jay. It looks bleak at this point as far as keeping the A's in Oakland. At this point, it seems like it's gonna take a miracle.
Yeah,
and it looks like the Vegas deal is just about done. And if it's not Vegas, I think Rob Manfred and John Fisher are just dead set on getting that team out of Oakland. And so if it's not Vegas, it'll be someplace else.
Yep.
But yesterday we played this clip right here. This is Rob Manfred going up to the podium to announce the A's draft pick over the weekend.
With the 28th pick of the 2023 MLB draft, the Houston Astros.
Oh, that's the Astros pick. That was it.
Bryce Matthews, a shortstop from the University of Nebraska.
That was the Astros. That was don't worry about it.
Look for to sell the team.
That was a different pick where he was mercilessly booed.
That's on me. Let me go get the one you want.
Both are doing the same thing.
That gives you, it's fine. That gives you an idea of what it sounded like when Rob Manfred went up to announce the A's pick, which was he was drowned out by not only booze, but chance of sell the team.
Yes.
And Jay, I said then, I don't think those are just A's fans. I think the baseball world is taking notice of what's going on in Oakland, and that's all the MLB fans that were in attendance at the draft over the weekend. There it is. Pump that up a little bit, someone. That's what it sounded like. You couldn't even hear the man. And I asked then FP Santangelo sitting in the co-host chair yesterday, and you, Jay, do you think like the baseball world taking notice can make a difference in all this? Because the reality is I moved here a little over a year ago, coming up on 13 months.
Congratulations.
And when I would see
You've blessed your life in Sacramento.
And you truly have, and I appreciate y'all. When I would see the headline of the A's trying to get out of Oakland, I would just chalk it up as, oh, rich people arguing with the government, another team going to relocate. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how dirty Oakland was being done until I came to Sacramento and I talked to folks like you, Jay, and I did my own research and read up on what was going on there and saw that this isn't just your typical, oh, they couldn't get a stadium, so they're leaving type of thing. No, man, this is a scam. This is a grift that's being pulled on the city of Oakland and probably Las Vegas or wherever they end up being of John Fisher and Rob Manfred just not wanting to be in Oakland and doing anything and everything underhanded and otherwise to get out of there. And I think a lot of people, even baseball fans, Jay, were like me in not really seeing the forest through the trees of what was going on here with the A's. And so I think that the more that spreads, what a horrendous thing they're doing here to the city of Oakland and a good baseball market, the more people that pay attention to that, the more chance there is that baseball could be saved in Oakland. And then today you came across this article from Kurt Streeter of the New York Times, who wrote a whole article about how this A's relocation looms over the All-Star game. And I just wanted to read one quick paragraph that I thought really puts into perspective what is going on here in Oakland. He says, did the commissioner forget that for decades, Oakland fans were considered among baseball's best? Does he somehow not remember that the team's devotees stood fervently behind their franchise whenever ownership through all its iterations put a viable team on the field? Success has come less often in the 2000s. Though the A's have made the playoffs 11 times in this century, taking a longer view stretching back to 1970, Oakland marched to the World Series 6 times and won it on 4 occasions. That's more World Series titles in the same span than the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Speak on it.
More than the Cubs.
Yep.
More than Atlanta.
Call it.
As many as the Red Sox.
I hear it.
If any of those teams had announced they were leaving for Las Vegas in the weeks before the All-Star Game, the Midsummer Classic, as it is known, would be played under the darkest Seattle clouds.
Come on now.
He really he hits the nail on the head with what he's saying right there. This is a fan base that has supported. This is an organization that has had success in that market in Oakland. And what's going on here, as I said, is a scam and a grift that John Fisher and Rob Manfred are trying to pull on the city of Oakland. Jay, do you think that the more Kurt Streeters and maybe the Jeff Passons and Jason Starks of the world and the baseball world at large takes notice of what's going on, what baseball is doing to the city of Oakland, that there's a chance that baseball could be saved in the Bay and for Oakland fans?
You know, when I first saw this come across, the first thing, our notes, our timeline, our prep today was, I remember you asked this question a few months ago to Nick, person that was sitting in that chair, Nick Cattles. You said a couple things. Of not being of this area, just what you said, did not know how bad A's fans, city of Oakland, Oakland A's supporters, everyone that's outside of that front office and organization that's playing a part in this, did not know how bad this was. And if the Jason Starks, the Jesse Rogers, the Goodwins, Kenny, all these people, Amzingers and whoever you want to call, started to get on board of like, this is wrong, would that change the narrative? I remember you asked that. That was one of the first things you asked when we start talking about this Oakland A's movement.
I think people started to. I asked it when they had the reverse boycott.
Yes,
and I think that's when people first started to notice that it got national headlines, and people in the baseball world started to go, "Oh, whoa, that's what's going on there.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do
Absolutely.
over there." You know what I mean? And I think baseball fans look at it and go, they could do that to us. They could do that to us and our team and our city. You know what I mean? And so I do think that that's when it started to gain a little bit of steam on the national perspective and around the baseball world.
Right. And I go back to that because I hadn't thought about that at that time. And now that we've progressed and advanced to this part of the situation, to where, as Kenny Streeter said, this is a huge black cloud, to use in Seattle with all the rain in Pacific Northwest. This is a huge black cloud over baseball right now. And it's hijacked some of the biggest moments that baseball is trying to push forward with in the conversation we had yesterday, where baseball is trying to get on good graces right now. They're trying to move the game forward, with certain things and bring back more eyes and become more entertaining for, the non-baseball addicts and people who follow the game on a daily basis. And unfortunately, the negative is bringing people back to the game when it comes to the Oakland A's. And they're starting to finally take a look and say, wait a minute, this is completely wrong. And as you said, this could be done to me. And one thing I know about people is, and I always say this about myself, I never tell a person I know what you're going through, because I don't. I'm not you. We're not the same product of our environment. I always tell people, I can kind of know what you're going through. I can kind of put maybe not my foot, as they say, walking my steps. I may not be able to walk, but I might be able to crawl, because we kind of have some similarities to some things that you're going through. And that's what is kind of, I think a lot of people that's watching this story is saying, and that's kind of what you're saying as well, is this could happen to us. The Brewers are right on the back end. Tampa, has been pushed 26 times about needing to be moved, to the point where they're talking about taking it back to Montreal. And you was like, look, man, I don't want the games in Montreal. There was
They didn't want it then.
They didn't want it then.
They didn't want it then.
Come
Yeah,
on. So
exactly.
if you're talking about uprooting teams back to a city that nobody even wanted at that point in time, why do that? But that just goes to show that people are starting to pay attention around me. And to really answer your question, I'm going to say 2 ways. It may be able to. Right now, it's all on Vegas voters. If they can kick that bond out and say, look, we don't want to support it, then the A's are in a very peculiar predicament of what's going to happen. So yes, maybe with the Las Vegas voters. And then the second thing for me is this, and this is something we've talked about on this show, and I can't remember, I think it was Eno SARS.
It was.
That
I
brought
know
this
what you're
up.
about to say.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Even if you take the team, if it's too far down the road, leave the name.
Yep.
And that's just me being
I think
Oakland
that's
A's
the
fan.
only way that it can be saved. And a lot like, and he makes the comparison in the New York Times article that I referenced to the Seattle Sonics.
Yeah.
And a lot like that is it's going to have to be, I've pretty much given up on this iteration of the A's staying in Oakland.
Yes.
But like Eno and other people have pitched, you don't get to take the name with you.
That's right.
It's going to have to be, A's fans are going to have to be in this for the long haul, and the baseball world is going to have to be in this for the long haul, because you're going to have to keep the memory alive of what a great baseball town that Oakland
a la
is.
Seattle.
A la Seattle. And what they have on the table to offer a franchise should they come there, because expansion is down the road for Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So if you're going to lose these A's, get a different iteration of the A's back. And just, I hope tonight at the All-Star game, if and when Brent Rooker gets out there on the field, we hear "Sell the Team" chants.
Come on now.
Throughout that stadium in Safeco.
That's right.
And we hear that wherever baseball, not just A's fans, baseball fans get a chance to remind Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball that we see you.
Yeah.
We see what you're doing. And I want to hear that tonight. And on top of that, last year, we had the controversy of them not flying their All-Star out to the All-Star game.
Oh, my gosh.
Jay,
was that Blackburn? I forgot. It was a reliever.
Did you see what they did this year?
Yeah, with the mascot.
They didn't send Stomper.
Come on, man.
How cheap a franchise are you where you're not sending your mascot to the All-Star game? It's a $75 flight, man.
Right up the coast. Yep. Want to
That
get away.
screams poverty franchise.
49.
Sell the damn team, John Fisher. You're that divested in this thing. You can't send Stomper to the All-Star game.
Bags fly
Come
free.
on, man. That's the last straw for me.
That's it.
That's it. What are you even doing? You can't send the mascot. That is terrible. Well, hit
to the Mariners in your division.
It's ridiculous.
Come on, man, Stomper.
On the other side of a
you're
break,
100% right, brother.
What are those sports hypotheticals that we're going to throw at you? That's coming up next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa, Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa, Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
That's the station. I am Robbie Matloff.
Just thought about it again.
I've composed myself.
Man, I'm not. I like how you was going hard, man. Couldn't even get my boy tusks in the air, man.
If I was Stomper, I would have drove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Made a social media video out of it. Exactly. A full mascot outfit behind the wheel. You know what I mean?
Guaranteed.
The ears sticking out the windows.
GoFundMe would have hit. Guaranteed he could have hit with a GoFundMe.
Oh, absolutely.
For
Someone
sure.
would have driven him up there.
I would have driven him up there if I knew. I would have driven Stomper myself up to Seattle if I knew.
Man, you know, if I
John Fisher was
if
too
I
cheap.
would have knew, I would have asked the boss man. Do we have this in the budget to get Stomper up there?
I'll do it on my own dime. I'll pay the gas.
Sure, we could have did that.
Just gas. It's just gas money, right?
You know what?
Hop in the Elantra, Stomper. Let's go.
You know what? I would have flew Stomper up there, went up there, and produced the whole visual.
For real.
The whole weekend, just Stomper.
Well, we didn't know. We didn't know he wasn't there until they introduced the mascots yesterday.
Hey, you know what? Look, I know, and this is one thing. I'm an Oakland A's fan, so I know it's going to come across as take it how you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I know, we dibble and dabble with the A's here on this station, but right is right, wrong is wrong. No, like you can't send your mascot up to where other mascots are. They're getting the praises and the crap. First of all, you took the enjoyment from the kids. That's first thing first, Ramie.
For the kids.
Yeah, Stomper's got to be one of the kids' favorites, right?
Yeah, exactly. A big elephant.
Got to have love for the boy.
I mean, come on now.
Everybody loves a big elephant.
Absolutely.
Dumbo. They're my favorite animals.
Looking around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Serengeti. It's terrible, man. John Fisher couldn't produce $250 for a Stomper ticket round trip.
Ridiculous. I saw Simone commented on the YouTube page. Hit that thumbs up if you like a $49 getaway deal.
Bags fly free.
Somebody on the text line said John Fisher is one of the cheapest owners in all of professional sports.
He's the worst.
That's correct.
Yes.
He runs the San Jose Earthquakes in a similar fashion to the A's. That's correct. I
did not know that.
Yeah,
he's a big Earthquakes fan.
Come on now.
Well, his son is a big Earthquakes fan.
Still to this day,
yeah,
it's tough, man. I love the Oakland A's, Ramie. I really
get
do,
it, man. It's a love-hate thing.
I
you know what
really do, man.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just tough for me to get to, continue the love I have for someone that doesn't have the same love for me, man.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I get it.
It does. Are you over there looking at Southwest Airlines flights for Stomper? I saw you kind of calculating and getting in there.
No.
But I mean, man, that water is blue. What's going on up there? Channel 3.
I don't know.
Oh man, our TV changed. That water was about as crystal blue as you could get. Now it's like black as tar, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they changed the color.
Yeah, but it's tough for me to get behind someone who doesn't care. And it's all we can talk about this all the time because one way or another, when you're going to spend your own money, your own finances to support something, we want something in return 9 times out of 10. Look, we all can be philanthropic.
There
There you
it
go. I
is.
could get the word out. We can all be philanthropic about certain things. But look, if I'm going to enjoy a ball game, and I'm not spending my hard-earned money, so to say, that I make here at Sac Sports 1140, then I want something in return. And no matter, what that is, a good ball game, a great atmosphere, the hot dog, an ice cream, a competent owner, whatever you want to put in that, I'm getting something in return. And it's just hard for me to do that right now with the Oakland A's, man. It really is, Ramie.
No, I get it.
It hurts me to the core, brother, that the A's have been, just drugged. I mean, they've been literally, John Fisher has taken me and Oakland A's fans and put us in a vice grip and put us behind a horse and drug us all up and down 880 and 680, brother.
And Rob Manfred is still on his BS. He just said at the All-Star game, hang on, I had the quote right here just a minute ago. Oh man, where'd my Rob Manfred quote go? Dang it.
That must mean it wasn't real because he never speaking of real. Rob Manfred is just
he's the worst. But man, I just had a quote. There it is. It says Major League Baseball's. Oh no, that's not it.
Okay.
It's
okay. I can continue with my disdain of the Oakland A's right now until you find it if you need me to.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You got some stuff you need to get off your chest. Go ahead, do your thing.
This is what we do right here on the afternoon show, man.
Where did that thing go?
Sometimes I just gotta lay on the sofa and let me talk and get my money's worth here, Robin.
Exactly.
Help me out, Simone. I mean, look, I know you're a Giant fan, but this is my thing. With the Oakland A's, with John Fisher, and I know he is a friend of the morning show, Dave Cavill. And I've been very particular on what I've said because of, again, we are the A station in many ways, and we have many games, and we've been the A station over the last few years. But it's difficult, Ramie. It really is.
Here's what Rob Manfred said. He said, my single biggest disappointment is that because of the kind of political process in Oakland, We didn't find a solution to keep the A's in Oakland. That's number one on the disappointment list.
Man, stop.
So he's still blaming everybody,
Fraudulent.
but himself,
It's despicable.
and John Fisher.
It was fraudulent.
Just blame everybody but the people who. And hey, man, I have said this before. When you've lost 3 professional teams in a matter of 5 to 7 years, you can't say the city of Oakland is without blame.
Oh, they're incompetent
You know what I mean?
in certain ways too.
Exactly. But to sit back and go, it's the fans, it's the political process, and blame everybody but John Fisher and yourself, Major League Baseball, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's lying right to our faces and acting like we don't know, which that's always the worst kind of lie to me. That's the most insulting kind of lie to me.
True.
When you know that I know that you're lying right to my face. That's the most insulting and condescending form of lying to me. I know I'm going to be lied to in this business and in this life, but that's the most condescending kind to me. When you know I know that you're lying and you're still going to spew that stuff right into my eyes.
Yeah. You know, the other thing for me too, and I've said this numerous times on this station and on this show, at what point in time is Rob Manfred, baseball owners, whatever, and I know they don't have the power to. No one, there's always options. I've said this before on this show too. But when is it time for John Fisher to sit down and talk? When is this guy going to talk to anybody? We all have friends in our life. I don't care if your friend is like Michael Jackson. His friend was the mouse, right? I don't care if your friend is your significant other. He was he not?
Yes.
Mr. Rat was it not?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yes, he was.
We all have different. Some people have imaginary friends. You have friends in different capacities. Is what I'm saying. Who is John Fisher's friend where he feels okay, safe, not harmed to sit down and have a conversation?
Does he have his own mouse?
Right. Because obviously he doesn't. Stomper's not his partner.
No,
right?
no, he ain't talking to Stomper. They're not on good terms right now.
No, absolutely. And if I was Stomper, I wouldn't come back until I was treated with more dignity and respect.
Exactly.
Not getting flued out. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh man. I almost said something off the scale.
Take it easy now.
There's a lot of people getting flown out in these times and days.
Yes.
The fact that Stomper was not able to get he couldn't even get a Frontier flight. It's all good.
Couldn't get him on
Spirit
JetBlue.
Airlines.
Anything. An Allegiant, a Spirit,
something.
I mean, we couldn't even, like you said, put him on the Amtrak.
Rent him a van.
I mean, a
Sprinter Amtrak.
You know what I
Nice.
mean?
U-Haul for $20.
Anything.
I mean, unlimited mileage.
Ooh, the U-Haul could be nice. He's got room to
Right,
play
put
in
a
the
little
back.
couch
Yeah.
back there. That'd be nice.
You like
man.
John Candy and Home Alone?
It
And the band?
it drives me crazy, man.
Okay. But no, real quick, I know we have to break. I'm just saying, when is John Fisher going to talk? When is someone going to let this guy talk? When is he going to talk? When is he going to be required to talk? And I know what's going to happen. As I'm knocking on wood, I'm hoping, the A's don't move, and I'm hoping my childhood team stays in Oakland and whatever. There's a miracle on, a rabbit out the hat. It doesn't happen. But I know what's going to happen. This man is going to talk when they're cutting a ribbon or something's in Las Vegas, and he's going to say like the dullest sentence ever. And it's going to be like, oh, I don't even know this man's voice. Can he speak? I've never heard him speak.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yeah, you could play sound of anybody talking and tell me it's John Fisher, and I'd be like, oh, I guess. I believe you, I guess. I don't even know what the guy's voice sounds
Somebody's
like.
got to talk, man. He's running out. Dave Cavill, at this point, as much as he's tall, he should have a hoarse voice. Because all he's been doing is talking and taking. He's been the Teflon Don for the Oakland A's and John Fisher.
Like I said, I think it's pretty much a done deal that you're going to lose this form, this iteration of the A's, but the idea of keeping the name and the history in Oakland for whatever an expansion team, I think might be a realistic possibility.
Rami, I'm gonna finish with this. I want the Oakland A's, but I don't want the Oakland A's with John Fisher.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jerry Seinfeld has a great bit where he says, as sports fans, we root for laundry. You know what I mean? All you care about, Jay, is that green and gold and white that they run out there in that hat. Whoever's in it. You might hate the ownership. You might hate the guys that put on the uniforms, but you're rooting for that laundry. But John Fisher. So John Fisher doesn't get to take the laundry with him. when he
That's
goes
right.
to Las Vegas.
I know.
You keep that laundry right here in California.
Go buy you something off the strip.
Well, any quick breaks. I'm dripping wet. Speaking of naked. Speaking of privileged dudes who don't understand consequences, we'll discuss a couple of those types next. Coming up right here.
Need your Niners fix? Sactown Sports has you covered.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Trey looks significantly better than he did last year. I really do. I think his confidence is there. I think that he's throwing really good passes. I mean, just watching him, he just looks so much more comfortable and confident in the pocket, and I really appreciate that from him, from all the work that he's put into it. He just looks like he's having fun, because when he's out there having a good time, it definitely brings up everyone around him.
Get all your 49ers coverage leading into the 2023 season at Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Byers Enterprises.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight with overnight lows dropping down into the low to mid 60s. A warm day tomorrow with highs in the mid to upper 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
To protect your home from the top down, start from the roof line up. Get clog-free Byers Leaf Guard gutters, fire-safe roofing from Byers Roofing, and power your home with Byers Solar. Act now for $500 off Byers Leaf Guard gutters at thatsbyers.com.
So I'm a public school teacher, and I'm on my feet all day long. That would be on concrete. The pain would shoot up my heels and just increased from the bottom of my feet up. Then my back started hurting. So my husband and I were driving, and I went, oh, look, there's a Good Feet store. I'm greeted by this gal named Mercy. That was a perfect name for her. And the cool thing about the Good Feet store is that you're able to try before you buy. I had free fittings. She was able to fit me with special arch supports. And so I walked around in the store. Within 30 minutes, I started sobbing because I had no pain. Well, if your feet are hurting, do something about it. You don't have to grin and bear it. You need to go to the Good Feet store and get some arch supports. I'm Deidre, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how they work for you with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer Wet Jet. With Swiffer Wet Jet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer Wet Jet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Sacramento, get ready for the launch of Flex Power Tools at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Come on down this Saturday, July 15th for a one-day Flex Tool launch party. Witness live demos, score unbeatable deals on all Flex products, and get a free 3.5 amp hour 24-volt battery with every kit purchase. Grab a rear handle saw kit with a free 10 amp hour battery for just $299. Power up with Flex at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Don't miss it this Saturday, July 15th at 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the it's, KBB.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street. Right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Simone, I'm going to go to you for a quick question before we get into this thing we want to talk about here.
Sure.
Do you know what or who Peso Pluma is? Any idea?
I don't. It
You
sounds
wanna ask
like
me?
a musical
Jay,
artist.
do you know who Peso Pluma is?
I'm just asking. Did you
All
want to?
Yeah,
ask
you were going to be next.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who Peso Pluma is?
That'd be a negative.
Okay.
Sounds like a musical artist, I would guess.
Okay, I don't know, because I just saw from a tweet from the Golden One Center. Head coach Mike Brown made an appearance Sunday night to personally gift
It is.
Peso Pluma with a one-of-a-kind custom soccer
Oh,
kit.
that's pretty cool.
Okay, that's what's
I
up.
believe it's Latin music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I have heard his name.
Yep,
That's
yep,
what's
yep.
up.
Yep,
I think
yep, yep.
your friend, Simone, told me and my girlfriend about
that
Peso
check it
Pluma.
out.
Yeah.
Yep, and you know I'm the plug.
There,
Yep.
I think that's why I thought to ask you.
There
Couple
you go.
stories that I just wanted to wrap up into one segment because they're very similar in nature, and also they're just the type of stories I did not want to talk about when I got into this business, Jay.
Okay.
But you almost have to, and that's the tales of Pat Fitzgerald and Bob Huggins. And let's start with Fitzgerald, as that news just broke yesterday. They rescinded his 2-week suspension for hazing in the program and instead handed him a pink slip and told him, you will no longer be the coach of Northwestern. Well, he went and hired a very high-profile lawyer, as you would expect.
As I would imagine
that he would. He's actually the guy that represented Fox News in their case with Dominion voting machines. If you need to know like how big a dude we're talking about here,
Top of the
like,
top.
yeah, he's handling the biggest cases that are out there, and he goes by the name of let me just make sure, it's attorney Dan Webb, who now has been in contact with the university, and he says that Webb told ESPN that in addition to Fitzgerald's employment contract, Northwestern violated an oral agreement reached between the coach, Schill, and the university's general counsel last week. Northwestern on Friday announced a 2-week unpaid suspension for Fitzgerald, one of several responding actions after investigation into hazing allegations found that the claims were largely supported by the evidence. And he goes on to say, I cannot understand how you could terminate someone for cause when they admit that their own lawyer does not have any evidence that my client ever knew anything at all. He's citing the investigation that Northwestern conducted, lawyers conducted for Northwestern, that said that, yes, there was hazing and a toxic culture, but Pat Fitzgerald did not know anything about it. He goes on to say, if I present that to a jury someday, a jury is going to have a hard time believing that you can terminate someone for cause when they didn't know anything about the incidents. And Jay, I'm not a lawyer.
Yep.
I don't know if you know that or not.
I kind of thought, but I wasn't sure.
I have my law degree.
Did not know.
So I don't know how this would play out in a court of law, but I just know, knowing what I know about the sports world and the way that college sports work, saying I didn't know this was going on is not a real defense. I said this yesterday. First of all, I don't believe that he didn't know it was going on. These coaches know everything that's going on in their program and on their campus when it comes to these guys. And secondly,
90%.
90. Okay, I'll say 90. And secondly, it's your job to know. And to not let stuff like this go on. You know what? I don't know if that argument holds up in a court of law, but to me, for anybody with any common sense or morals looking at this thing, I don't know how you look at that as a real defense of this man saying, I didn't know. How am I supposed to? Yeah, you're supposed to know, dude. You're really,
that's it. Yeah.
You're really bad at your job. You got fired for being really bad at your job, if not encouraging this culture that took over your program.
I think that's it. I think that's the question, Ramie, is he was bad at his job, but the ploy of getting him out of there is on paper. Excuse me. And this is the way we live in our world is society is it's words. It's on words on paper. Mm-hmm. And because, you were bad at your job and you didn't know, so we fired you. But then you said, well, look, these words on this paper protect me from not knowing, and I think that's what the Mr. Webb, the lawyer, is saying. But I'm also with you, and I'm not a lawyer. I didn't know if you didn't know. Mm-hmm. But
I had a feeling. I had a hunch.
That I'm not sure that stands up in court as well. I'm with you. This could be a ploy to just, as I choke myself up, a ploy just to get the money.
Yeah,
I think
that's all this is.
That's
all this is it's a way to fatten the severance.
Yes,
that they're going to give him on his way out the door. That's all that this is, and it'll probably end in some settlements where they say, here, take a bunch of money and let's all go our separate ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking of which, Bob Huggins is also trying to do the same thing.
This is a little different though.
This is weird.
Yeah, it's a little different.
This one is weird. Now, for those who don't remember, Bob Huggins, it was probably about a month ago. He had an incident where he said some racist things and he apologized for it and got the slap on the wrist and the suspension. And then right on the heels of that, he got a DUI. And he was quickly shown the door by West Virginia. Now, they said he resigned.
Yes.
In the aftermath of that DUI. His lawyer put out a statement a couple of days ago saying that was not the case. Now Huggins himself has put out a statement. Says, I did not draft or review West Virginia's statement. This false statement was sent under my name, but no signature is included. In addition, the false unsigned statement was accompanied by a joint statement from the president of athletics director that clearly implied that they had received this purported resignation letter from me. Coach Huggins, this is in quotes, Coach Huggins informed us of his intent to retire and has submitted his letter of resignation, and we have accepted it in light of recent events. We support his decision so that we can focus on his health and family. Huggins goes on to say, I am employed by West Virginia University pursuant to an employment agreement. I never submitted the notice required under the employment agreement or to voluntarily resign. Jay, what do you make of this mess?
I believe we're on the phone and they got an oral resignation. I think that's what's what happened. And then Huggy was like, you know what?
Changed his mind.
Let me go ahead and call someone who is a lawyer. Let me go ahead and call my representation, my agent, my lawyer, and let's see if I have a case here. And you know what? Now that I've had opportunity to sit back for a day or a couple days, a week or so, I don't think I'm done. I still want to coach. How can we go about going to get my job back? Or as he's saying, he never gave up his job.
Mm-hmm.
But, how can we reform maybe the conversation that I had with the AD or the president or the athletics AD?
If I'm either one of these guys, I have too much shame. You know what I mean? When I've done the things that they've done, to sit there and go, I deserve to keep my job.
For sure,
you know what I mean? Both of these guys, how do you fight this? How are you so shameless that you're pushing back on this?
Words on paper.
True.
That's the way we live.
I thought
words on paper, Ramie.
I thought I had read, and it might have been in his lawyer's statement, that they got a text from his wife.
Huggy Bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saying that he was resigning. And they took that as his resignation.
I didn't see that.
I could have sworn I read that. I think it was in the original statement put out by the lawyer.
So they kind of going, who was that? Who was the general manager? It was like, my wife was Colangelo from Philly.
I don't remember.
Was that Colangelo?
Yeah,
was
with
like
the burner account?
Yeah, it was like, that was my wife's.
Yes.
Yeah, just throw her under the bus.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So that's what Bob Huggins is doing.
Apparently, yeah.
He's just throwing wifey up under the bus.
I mean, maybe if that's. I mean, look, man. They were in a whirlwind. You know what I mean? When a guy has the problems that a Bob Huggins has, and he gets a DUI, and the wife is dealing with it. Maybe she talked with Bob and thought she heard him say, "Yeah, I'm done. I got to hang it up and go take care of this thing." And so she sent the text to the powers that be, and they took that as his resignation. Yeah, the people up top.
Yeah, the people,
as they like to say. But
the people up top.
Both of these guys, just look, man. You've made your money. Just go away.
For sure. I'll say this. I think Fitzgerald is in his early 50s. When I looked, I want to say he's 54, but I could be completely wrong. Huggy Bear, though. Huggy Bear, bro, it's time for some new blood, man. Go ahead and take a seat back. You've gotten to the end almost, sir. And I wish he would have been able to call it time on his own clock, look down at his watch and say, okay, I'm out of here. But some of your actions have proven that you don't deserve that anymore. You can't just going out here getting DUIs and saying random stuff when half your team is of minority. 3/4 of your team is a minority, and you're saying some racial situations. That racial statements, that's just not going to happen, man. It's just time for you to move on. And maybe your wife is doing it out of care. Maybe she knows that the time has passed you by, and you need a break. If nothing else, you need to sit down for a couple of years or a year or whatever, and not coach. Maybe you're under too much scrutiny and it's too much pressure. I don't know what it is, But as you said, the audacity of these gentlemen to continue to keep nothing
Shameless.
they do is wrong.
Shameless.
Yeah, look, man, that's a whole nother conversation. John Fisher,
Mhm.
we can continue to keep on going down that
We've
road.
created a
100 times.
world where guys like this can't fathom that there's accountability and consequences for their actions.
Very true.
You know what I mean? We'll hit a quick break. On the other side, we'll play some sound for you that has you asking, they said what?
It's Whitey and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Would you want LeBron and Bronny here?
You can't say no. Like, you just can't.
I know. I'll say it.
Why? You go.
It would be a
Why?
joke. It would be a disaster. A guy playing with his kid. You're not
A going to a guy playing with his kid?
That's what it is. It's what it boils down to.
Yeah, they're taking over the team.
They're not taking over my team.
That is how that works. They are definitely taking over the team.
It's Whitey and Watkins from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports.
For nearly 20 years since Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course opened near the banks of the Sacramento River, it's been Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf course architects designed the course to be an easy walk, but motorized carts are available as well. You and your friends of all abilities will find Bartley Kavanaugh featuring a brand new tap room is a great place to play golf. After your round, relax on the outdoor veranda overlooking the course with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyCavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Hey, kids, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at Fire Wings, the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to enjoy all the ball games from all around the country with 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Bone in, bone out. For more convenience, order online. Go to firewings.com. Find a location near you. Grab that order online and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Hey, just wing it.
Get your superhero squad together and join forces as we take on the Minnesota Twins on Saturday, July 15th during Marvel Superhero Day. All fans can enjoy this special Marvel-themed day at the ballpark, along with fun photo opportunities, character appearances, and in-game features as part of the fun. Get there early to snag a Captain Marvel bobblehead presented by Extra Mile. Tickets start at just $10 and are available at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers. Imagine if every time you bought something, you could get a second one for 30% off. Buy one car, get the second one for 30% off.
Buy one TV, get the second one at 30% off. Buy a new house and get the second one at 30% off.
At Bell Brothers, that's exactly what we're offering this spring on windows and doors. When you buy one brand new energy-efficient window for your home, you'll get the second one at 30% off.
A minimum purchase is required, but the discount applies to every second window you buy. For example, if you buy 5 windows, you'll get 5 windows at 30% off.
The same is true for doors. Buy one, get one for 30% off. And for doors, the minimum is just 2.
So call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Guess who's back? I can't remember Magoo's little situation.
Break it down.
Yeah, he did. And Tim put that in there to break it down. Did y'all like Magoo?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes, say yes, Ramie.
You don't remember Timberland and Magoo? Oh yeah, I forgot.
To love you.
I forgot all. I'm gonna be real. I forgot all about.
Really?
That's on me. That's
And
on
he
me.
had that distinguished voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I forgot.
Smoke, can we find some Timberland and Magoo next for coming back?
I
Yeah,
forgot Timberland had a partner.
that's all right.
That's
brother.
on me. That's,
Dude, you got a lot of things to worry about. You got 42 different topics to remember every single day. You're not supposed to remember Magoo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks for letting me off the hook.
Of course.
Including I have to remember which 5 sound bites we were going to pick and play for a little something we do every Tuesday at about 4:45 that we like to call They Said What? And it's just some of the more weird, noteworthy, or surprising comments from around the sports world, including on the field. This was on Sunday, Cubs-Yankees at Yankee Field. And this is, Jay, the
Stadium.
Top Yankee
You
Stadium.
better say it right. They're going to come after you now. I promise.
Screw all of them. Jay, this is the top of the first inning.
Yes.
This is the top of the first inning, and David Ross, Cubs manager, and his crew are barking at the umpire from the dugout. And here's what ensues.
The Cubs dugout obviously not happy with that pitch violation call.
Yes.
Hendricks, they're already in a little bit of a cranky mood, and they're barking at McKay, and he just ran Rossi. And Rossi's going to come out and get his money's worth. I don't need to pick him up on our field microphone. Are you going to let me work today or not? He didn't want to hear Rossi giving him the business. Violation was called while Kyle was finishing up his warm-up.
Yeah, that's what they were upset about.
Was still got one more warm-up pitch, but apparently
They called a pitch clock violation before the inning even started.
I didn't even know that was a rule.
Nor did I.
And I don't know if you could hear what David Ross said there.
You didn't want to.
He said, you have one more game before the break, and you're already this bleeping bad. That's a great line.
Come on, man.
That's a great line. Like,
Yeah.
man, you're already mailing it in? You don't got one more game in you?
Yo, vacate, brother.
Exactly. He was right. I've never seen that before in my life.
Well, I think
Never
we're still
ever seen
all
that
learning the
before in my
rules here,
life.
Ramie. I don't think we understand the
That is
rules
true.
completely, any of us.
That is true. Meanwhile, also from the world of baseball, it's All-Star Week, and they have these media events, much like Media
Yes.
Day at the Super Bowl,
Yep.
where stupid questions get asked.
Oh,
like
yeah.
questions.
I'm all for this. Do you like this?
I love it.
Okay,
I love it
I'm with
because some people take sports and sports media a little too seriously.
Agreed.
So Nick Castellanos of the Phillies, he was asked, "Who's your favorite superhero?" And he said, "Scooby-Doo."
Scooby-Doo.
And then he was asked for an explanation.
Everyone was asked their favorite superheroes. Yeah. You said Scooby-Doo. Sure. I didn't realize Scooby-Doo was a superhero. Can you kind of explain his superhero lore?
I mean, well, first off, he's a dog, right? And he can talk.
Fair enough. Okay.
And he solves mysteries. So I think that a dog that can talk and helps people by solving mysteries, I think is a superhero.
Checks off all the superhero boxes, has special skills, and he helps people.
Correct.
He's a hero in everyone, Ramie.
Said fair enough.
He's so matter of fact about it. He's a dog and he talks. Like, why? What are you even asking me about,
enough
bro?
in
What
itself.
are you talking? And the reporter goes, obviously.
Yeah, no, the fair
No,
enough.
yeah.
He says
Oh,
fair
yeah,
enough.
fair enough.
And then
No, yeah,
that's always the line that you drop when you can't argue with someone. That's just like fair enough.
Fair
You're
enough.
just giving them enough.
That's a good point. I can't even argue. He's a dog and he talks and he solves mysteries. You're right. Checks off all the boxes.
He solves mysteries.
Yeah, I think Nick Castillo is Scooby-Doo superhero. Quick vote on the show.
No.
No? Simone?
No.
No?
With
I mean,
him
he has-
talking,
He has superpowers. He can
he's just
stand on
not
it.
bodying
He stands on
fools
his
like I
hind leg.
want you to be.
That is
for a-
true.
You know?
I
My
mean,
dog stands on his hind legs.
does he talk?
Close.
Fair enough. Speaking of dogs, legend, both on and off the court, the logo of the NBA, Jerry
logo.
West, he was asked about the dogs in the NBA today.
Players that are drafted today, and everyone, competitive people, the word dog comes up a lot. That guy's a dog. That guy, well, I was a wolf, okay? I used to eat dogs.
That's cold-blooded.
Talk your talk, Jerry.
Dog.
You know what I thought about? I was like, remember, what's a goon to a goblin? Remember Lil Wayne? That's basically what he's saying. What's a goon to a goblin? Right, man. I eat dogs, prairie dogs, any kind of dog. I like that. I'm a wolf.
That's a great line. That's a great line.
That's big time mess talking.
Yeah.
That boy's spitting right there.
And I don't know if that catches on, if guys stop using dog and start using wolf now, but that's a fair. I'm a wolf amongst dogs.
That's
is what Jerry West.
And then somebody gonna be like, I'm a hyena. And then somebody's gonna be like, oh, hyenas, I'm a lion. I'm a lion. I'm the king. You know how I'll go. You got to keep up in it.
I didn't even realize this, but there's a theme and some very
got a lot of dog going on.
I was some very easy transitions for me. A guy who doesn't go by dog, but instead goes by cat. Carl Anthony Towns.
Here, brother.
He recently this was with Rachel Nicholson, if I'm not mistaken. And Rachel Nichols.
I thought it was Malika Andrews. We'll hear when we hear it.
Okay.
You're right.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
My bad.
Right.
Definitely shouldn't mix those two up. They got beef.
You better be careful. You're going to get bit like a wolf.
So this was Kat with Malika Andrews being asked about this notion that you can't win with three big men, as the Timberwolves are trying to do right now.
For anyone that says in the modern game, three bigs can't work, what's your message?
Hey, watch us.
I love it.
Poetry.
I like Kat. He loves to talk tough and talk a big game in these interviews and podcasts. No, he is not. I know he plays for the Wolves, but he is not. He is not, dude. He is not that dude. Like, I wish his demeanor and his attitude in interviews where he's like, what? I can watch us, bleeping watch us do it. I wish he took that to the court.
You know what he is, and Javier Flores said on the text on YouTube, he's corny. He is, man. Like, there's a lot of
it comes off corny when you can't back it up.
Yeah, it does, man. When you're not really putting in that work, you know, so to say, on the floor, it definitely makes you turn into like, you're not believable, man, which is, another way in how we talk is corny. You corny, brother. It's tough, man. I just, Kat is very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a specific word. Kat, when he first came into the league, it was like it seemed like, and maybe it was just a farce. It seemed like he was tough. It seemed like he was that guy.
He's got MVP.
Oh, talent, ability,
and potential.
Yeah, but I'm even saying like his attitude. I don't, and maybe it's because we didn't know as much, and he didn't have as many mics in his hand and all that type of stuff. But over the years, and again, I always say one thing about Kat is he had a horrific pandemic. Like, his family, he lost a lot.
I was in Minnesota while he was going through all that.
A lot of things in his life.
It literally brought me to tears.
That man.
Brought me to tears on the air.
Yeah.
Reading about what that, or just talking about what that dude was going through.
And you know my thing. I never talk about people's personal life, but so I keep it on the floor. He just don't have it for me. That's not the type of cat I want to go to battle on basketball with. I'm good, man.
Dude, he's a good baller, but just in clutch moments and in big games, he's not going to be that dude for you.
Nah,
so
not
then
for
he
me.
projects. You know what a projection is,
yes.
right?
That's true. He's a pump faker, huh? Okay, I see what you're saying, Simone. You're reading them. I like where you're going.
We'll hit a quick break on the other side. Reset some of the big topics discussed today. It's the top spot, and it's coming up next.
The Kings are running it back.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes. Alex Lynn just went above the iron with a two-hand throwdown. And that was as nasty as we've seen him in a Kings uniform.
And welcoming some new faces.
Oh, and here comes Vezenkov. He gets the big finish. Fisher rejected by Mr. Vezenkov.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and, and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Fourth and final hour of the show this afternoon. Ramie Mackloff with you. It'll be the high flyer, Henry Turner, in the co-host chair
HT
tomorrow.
in the building, town business.
My man Double J killing it today in the co-host chair.
You make it very easy, brother.
I try. That's what I
cut
try to do every day. And Simone on the other side of the glass doing it all, doing the updates on the ones and twos. And absolutely crushing it. Little dance on the other side of the glass I just saw.
You can only see this at
For those of you on
YouTube.
YouTube.com/Sactown Sports. Watch Simone get down over there. Coming up, we'll hear from, who are we going to hear? Oh, yeah, that's right. Beno Udrih.
That's right.
Former King, now scout for the Atlanta Hawks. We'll hear from him coming up at 5:30.
People love Beno here, brother.
Yeah.
You didn't have an opportunity to be around, but Beno, people loved him around.
The reason I know people still got love for Beno is because if you go to a Kings game, you will see at least one Beno Udrih jersey. He's one of those dudes where you go, that dude?
Yeah.
But hey, man, mad respect for Beno and anybody who's still holding the candle for him.
Dude signed a 5-year deal here in Sacramento. You know, if you re-up in Sacramento,
oh, people are gonna love you.
Yeah, demigod.
Yeah, man, showing that you want to be here. Yeah,
you can walk around almost naked. Have no issues. Seriously.
Like that dude that Verlad was talking about in story time today. Did you hear about this dude? Ran in Vegas, ran through 3 casinos naked.
He was
jumped on a poker table, wet, buck naked. That's actual audio of him. There he is, right there.
How high on whatever you have to be? I don't care if it's
today. I don't know if you saw Jay. Yeah, you're right. He had to be under the influence of something,
of anything.
I don't know
it could have been himself under the influence of just happiness.
Today, some dude broke the window at the Caesars and is launching all his furniture out the window.
See that.
What's going on in Vegas, man?
Yes.
That's the Sphere. I was just gonna say it's
Sphere's tripping everyone out. No.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, he's got powers. He's driving people nuts. But it is time for the top spot here on the show. And Jay, I started off the afternoon talking about the Summer League, and you
watched that?
I did.
Okay,
I did. I had to watch it. I had to break it up into parts to watch it.
The force feed yourself.
Because I literally, at the end of the first half, I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And I changed the channel. And then I came.
Was it like that?
Yes. It was
that
literally.
intense?
It was. Man, they scored 2 points in the first 5 minutes of the game, and then again 2 points in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. It is a tough watch. And I've said, Jay, like, give me anything because of this writer's strike. Give me anything in the sports world to watch, and I'll eat it right up. And that I couldn't finish. I couldn't finish yesterday, man, because it's just
couldn't make it through.
It is a tough watch, man. And but like I said this yesterday to FP, you got to watch it through a different prism, through a different lens. You know what I mean?
Truth.
You've been so used to watching Keegan Murray or De'Aaron Fox or Davion Mitchell or some other guy taken in the top 5 or the top 10 that you watch it and you go, okay, let's see what the future of this franchise is all about. This guy's going to step in and do big things. You're not going to get that. Like you're not going to get that
on this team right
from
now.
this version of the Summer League Kings, which on the one hand is a good thing.
Yes.
It means you were good. On the other hand, it means you're going to be watching some bad basketball.
Very true.
But in that bad basketball, I think, Jay, we can look for guys that can be role players. Not Keegan Murray's, not all rookie, you know what I mean? Not all stars, not even starters, but guys that can contribute and be role players. And there are a few guys on this roster that I'm looking for to do that. One of them being Nemi, who left after the first half yesterday with, I think they said it was a back injury. I haven't seen any updates today.
I haven't either.
On
and
whether
you were watching,
or when he'll be back in the Summer League. He only had 2 points, but I really liked what in the first 2 games of watching him. Yeah. He's setting some devastating screens. He's grabbing some boards. He's swatting some balls into the 3rd and 4th row. We saw him lead the G League in scoring. So if he can bring some of that to the regular season and solve or help to solve the backup center problem that the Kings have, that's a significant development from this bad, boring basketball that they're playing. And another guy who I'm looking at actually did have a very good night last night. That's the rookie Colby Jones. In 31 minutes, 8 of 13, including 3 of 7 from 3. He put up 19 points, also grabbed 9 rebounds, 2 assists. That's a solid night for that young man. You mentioned Still waiting to see Kessler Edwards.
I really am.
Do some stuff.
I'm looking for. I mean, as I on record here, like we do an afternoon show. I'm on the record. I didn't watch the game live yesterday. I had to watch a little home run derby.
You were watching some oysters.
Then
on the grill.
I went ahead and grilled a little bit. But the other part of the situation becomes I was able to see Cali Classic. I've seen the first couple of games for the Kings, who played, by the way, at 7:30, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Simone? Help me out there. Is that 7:30? 7 excuse me. 7 o'clock against your Chicago Bulls, Ramie.
Mm-hmm.
You interested in watching anyone on the Bulls?
I'll have it on. No, the Bulls got nobody that is worth watching.
I want a crossover.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But
for you.
yeah, I'll have it. I'm watching the All-Star game on TV1.
Okay.
Sound up. TV2 will be some summer league action.
Yeah. I might watch the All-Star game. I'm not sure if I'm gonna indulge in the summer league live. I might try to do something on the back end, maybe later tonight, watch it. But I'm looking for more from Kessler, brother. I need to see something. I want to see one of the tools in the toolbox that he encompasses. I just haven't been able to see what Kessler Edwards does good. I know a lot of people talk about his defense. I don't see it. A lot of people talk about his length, his physical build. Yeah, I mean, that's there. God blessed him with that. Naturally, he is who he is, physically. It wasn't like he was taught that. That was given to him. And so I'm looking for something impressive. I'm looking for something for me to really dive into liking Kessler on the court, as you said, looking to attribute something for the Kings this season. I just haven't been able to see it with Kessler. I'm not disappointed. I just want to see a little bit more. And I'm kind of looking for someone, as I said in the first half of that show, I want someone who almost is like, man, he doesn't even belong in playing summer no more, which we saw with Keegan. Keegan looked like a wolf among dogs, a goon versus a goblin, like Jerry West said in the first couple of games of Cali Classic. It's like, dude, get this dude off the floor. Right. We don't even need to see anything more.
What else can he do?
What else can he score 50?
Right.
60? What's coming next? I mean, he throwing up floaters off the glass. He dunking on people, D'ing up folks. He got 10 assists. I mean, he was doing everything. That's what I'm looking for from somebody at Sacramento. I will say Keon Ellis looks like he can be something on the defensive side. I think he has to develop the shot a little more around me. And I really like Jordan Ford just because he's local, brother. We got to give him some love. Yeah. If nothing else, he is deserved at least to go to camp with the Kings. Yeah. And if it doesn't pan out, if Davion and De'Aaron and all
they got some, and they traded for Duarte, they got some depth at the guard position that's going to make it hard for him to climb onto the actual roster, much less getting minutes. But you got to like what you've seen from the young man so far.
Put him on somebody else's team then, right?
Sure. Yeah. No, and that's part of what the summer league is for. It's kind of like training camp in the NFL, where guys are not just trying out for the team that they're playing for, but they're putting something on tape for other teams to see and say, hey, we might be able to get something out of that guy.
I like it. Come on, Jordan. We pulling for you, brother.
I'm rooting for the kid. The other thing that I wanted to touch on in the top spot, Jay, we talked about this situation with the A's and it garnering some national attention now. We saw yesterday Rob Manfred at the podium getting drowned out by sell the team chants.
Good job, fans.
I don't think that could have been all A's fans.
No.
I think the baseball world is taking notice, and I think that might make a difference in keeping baseball in Oakland. Not these A's, not John Fisher's A's, but sort of going to Vegas or wherever they're going to go.
The Shield.
And leave the name and the laundry behind, as Jerry Seinfeld put it. And there was an article in the New York Times talking about what a scam that Fisher and Rob Manfred are trying to pull on the team today. And we were talking about it earlier in the show, Jay, and I said, I would like to see some kind of protest tonight at the All-Star game. Maybe when Brent Rooker goes to the plate or steps on the field, we hear sell the team chants. Well, they do have something planned.
Oh, got a little news for me, Ramie.
The A's fans are out in numbers at the All-Star game, and they're handing out these little cards. I just came across this after we had our discussion.
Really?
They're handing out these little cards that on the front, it has like the skyline of Oakland, and then the script reads, and it's all in All-Star game font, which is a nice little touch because it looks like Major League Baseball is doing this. You know what I mean? It says, sell the Athletics, All-Star Game protest, #Fisher out.
Bye.
On the flip side of the card, they describe what they would like fans at the All-Star Game to do tonight. And it reads, support Oakland baseball. Stand with us. Baseball is more than just wins and home runs. It's about community, memories, and a sense of belonging. Like all baseball fans, A's fans also cherish these values. We're at risk of losing baseball in Oakland forever. Will you stand with us? Show your support by standing up before the first at-bat of the top of the 5th inning. Please stay silent throughout the at-bat to honor 55 years of baseball in Oakland, followed by chants of sell the team, stand with Oakland, keep baseball alive in our city.
Love it.
I hope this thing,
saw one of the cards.
I hope this thing catches on and we get a noticeable demonstration tonight at Safeco Field in the 5th inning of this All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, again, I go back to the moment that you said this a couple months ago, 3, 4, 5 months ago. Hey, if more people with more power and a bigger voice came to the aid of the Oakland A's, would it change something? And at that very moment, I hadn't thought of that, that question until you had proposed it. And so I really do truly hope that the Jason Starks, you said the Jeff Passons, the Jesse Rogers of the world, they begin to, and we're starting to see it. You're starting to see the Tim Browns, these guys who have been around the game for a long time, point blank just come out and say, man, look, this is a highway robbery. Yep. And Oakland, the city of Oakland, the fans of the Oakland A's, and whoever you want to add to it is getting jacked, man. They basically getting held up with something to their face. Yeah. And it's just a sad situation, Ramie. Somebody on the text line said John Fisher didn't want there to be the elephant in the room when we were talking about Stomper going to Seattle, right? And so it's just, it's those type of things, as someone else said, put Stomper on Allegiant, the Raider special, out of Stockton. When you don't send your mascot to an All-Star game, when you quite frankly made money in the pandemic and you still you're stealing money and profit sharing, revenue sharing, $65 million. And then you come back and put a little bit of chump change on the table to develop a team. Dude, just get out of here. Get out of here.
Just sell the team.
Bye.
Or just leave the laundry behind.
That's it.
Go to Vegas
Bye, man.
and leave the laundry behind. And let them build the stadium that they offered you to build.
Yes.
And get a new owner with the expansion that's coming to Major League Baseball.
Keep saying it.
And keep baseball in Oakland.
Call them the Las Vegas Salamanders.
You got to be in it for the long haul, though,
yes.
is what I'm going to tell A's fans. Keep reminding people what baseball is doing to you. Keep reminding people how good a baseball town it is. Keep the memory alive of baseball in Oakland like Seattle fans did of basketball in their city. And that's the only way you're going to win this thing, is if you have the stamina to stay in it for the long haul.
I got a question on the other side that I want to ask you.
Oh, cool. We also have some food talk on the YouTube page.
I love
on the
that.
other side. Always love that.
That must mean Willie's in there.
We'll be right back.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Cal Ripken in 2001 won the MVP there. Yeah, and then he hit the home run. I think it was off a Dodger Chan Ho Park, if I remember right.
There's no way Chan Ho Park was in an All-Star game. If he was, that's
okay. Kyle, Zeus, I feel like it's. I could be
Chan
wrong.
Ho Park was a 2001 All-Star for the Dodgers.
Bro. Oh, Chan Ho Park sucked.
Well, Cal Ripken hit it out of Chan Ho Park.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Hey, kids, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at Fire Wings, the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to enjoy all the ball games from all around the country with 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Bone in, bone out. For more convenience, order online. Go to firewings.com. Find a location near you. Grab that order online and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire Wings. Hey, just wing it.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Ramie Mackloff with you. Jay Johnson in the co-host chair. Simone on the other side of the glass. The high flyer, Henry Turner, will be here in the co-host chair
Town
tomorrow.
business.
And Kenny Thomas on Friday.
Mexico business.
Couple of former Kings going to be in studio in
Me
that
too.
co-host chair. Oh, you played for the Kings?
Yeah, I did, man.
Oh, I didn't know
Summer
that.
League, baby.
You're telling me Jay Johnson
tell you-
isn't a Sacramento King standing before
I'll tell you
me?
this. Watching some of this Summer League, I believe it.
I believe you.
I would
Let me
believe
tell
it.
you,
I would believe
I can
you
for
got-
sure go out
you
there
got-
for some now.
You got a few minutes.
Literally,
I
right
believe
now.
that. We were talking about the A's and the situation up there before the break, and you said you had a question for me. And I'm going to read some of your comments at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I have a question for both of you guys.
Yeah,
I
go
need
ahead.
you to help me as a Oakland A's fan. Two-part question here. Number one, should I go to an Oakland A's game 2-3 games this season?
I've been kicking around that idea myself, Jay, because
Okay.
I've already hit every other. Well, I didn't get to Anaheim. I did not get to Angel Stadium.
Okay.
But I went to San Fran. You know, I just got
jumped around.
I just got here last year.
Yep.
I love baseball. I love ballparks. So I already saw San Francisco.
Petco.
Sorry, I know people hate
The city,
You're
man.
about to
It's
get
the city, bro.
canceled.
I saw the stadium in the city.
Yeah,
if
the
that,
city. There you
if
go.
you feel better about that. I saw Dodgers Stadium, and I went and saw the
Petco.
Petco. I saw the Padres Stadium. All three of those are gorgeous.
They are.
So kind of just to complete the checklist, I was thinking about going to Oakland, and I was like, man, first of all,
Say the best for last, man.
it's such a garbage stadium.
It is,
You know what I mean? Like, and secondly, do I really want to put money in John Fisher's pocket? So I've been kicking around the same idea that you have, Jay, and
Okay.
I don't have an answer because I
Okay.
can't.
All right.
I
First
can't.
of all, we have here at Sactown Sports our,
We have
facilities.
tickets,
Yeah.
our allotments,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Our allotments,
that we
sure.
can definitely
As their
utilize
partner,
those, I
yes.
think, as so many people are not. So we can definitely look into that. I have never been to an Oakland A's game.
What?
So it wouldn't
Really?
that
Are
be
you
crazy
serious?
if you went to potentially maybe your last Oakland A's game? I'll go. It'll be my first and last.
Maybe
I
we
don't know.
can line that up.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious. I went to a Raiders game.
And you
They
can
still
take
have
the
the
train.
baseball
You can
diamond.
take the train right there, right? So how long a train
Yeah.
ride are we
Corridor.
talking? 90
Oh, it's
minutes?
like 90 minutes.
Something like that.
Yeah, about
Easy.
that. Yeah.
Light
Okay.
work.
Yeah, maybe
Probably a little longer
maybe a
than
show
that.
outing to an A's game.
Yes, yes, yes.
Where we wouldn't have to
Wow.
give John Fisher any
know.
money because we
Exactly.
had station tickets.
Okay.
Husband.
Second question behind that is this.
Okay.
And this is the one I've been battling with. Do I still wear A's garb? As you said, Jerry Seinfeld, the laundry. Can I still wear can I? But should I still wear the A's green and gold?
And up until and unless they take the laundry to Vegas,
Okay, hold on. Okay, before you answer this. It's to me, I mean, it's not finalized, right? But it's close as finalized as it's probably going to be.
okay.
And that's when I was like, I'm done. You already said you want to go to Vegas. I guess I'm looking at it like a scorn
here
relationship.
in a minute.
Yeah,
now
I'm
that you're
done.
saying it.
Yeah, and I got fresh stuff with tags on it. I
Yeah.
ain't bust out. To me, they're gone. Now, of course, I still want a final hurrah, maybe a rabbit out the hat.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, go ahead and answer your question.
Go ahead, please.
Which question exactly?
Which is, should I still
The
wear
Rock
A's?
thing.
Up until I'm sorry, I thought I had given my up until if they become the Vegas A's,
Okay.
then no, burn it. As far as I'm
But
concerned,
it sounds like you're conflicted right now.
right now, yeah.
So
up until then, I would still rock my A's gear
Yes, I
because,
agree.
like I said, like Jerry Seinfeld said, we root for laundry. That's that you're literally talking about the laundry that we root for. Put that on and be a proud A's fan.
Yes,
And it also
exactly.
represents your lifetime as an A's fan. Not what they are right now, but it represents all the great things that you've witnessed them do, all the great memories that you have around A's baseball. To me, that's what that represents.
I agree. It's a testament, and it is a nonverbal way to protest, to show your dedication still to
Now,
Oakland.
if they
and
become
other
the-
fans,
If they
that need to
become the
see it.
Vegas A's,
Yes.
burn it.
So, okay.
And we're putting it on Twitter.
Right. So,
Threads.
So what you're saying is when it's official,
Yes.
or when they get to the city, they play their first season.
Now, if they go there, but like we've been saying, they don't get to take the name and the history with them, keep rocking your A's gear.
Okay,
and remind people what a great fan base you are until you get your A's back.
Yeah, and you got to recognize game in the streets. Yeah.
Okay, so what about this, though? Let's just say the end of this season, they're going to Vegas, but they play another season or two in Oakland. What do I do?
Now, that's a gray area. That's a gray area.
So we know they're going to Vegas in 2 seasons
do we know
or a season.
Do we know they're taking the logo with them?
Oh, breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Breaking my heart.
That's different.
If we know they're taking the logo with them, again, burn it.
Okay.
If that question is still
pretty much.
If that question is still up in the air, keep rocking it until you know. Until you know the Oakland A's are a thing of the past.
So I'm still good. I'm not supporting John Fisher moving if I'm rocking my A's gear right now, because that's kind of how I feel.
No. Okay. I don't think so. All right, real quick on the YouTube page. My favorite thing that goes on, youtube.com/Sactown Sports, is the food discussions that often take place. And apparently a Costco discussion has broken out on YouTube. I'm not a Costco member. Only been a few times. I understand it's a wonderful experience.
It's all right
to go to the Costco, but
to shop, like going to DMV.
Well,
dude, it's so overrated. Unless you, especially like someone for you, Ramie.
Yeah.
Where it's just you and the significant other.
Yeah.
Me, the wife, and the daughter. We going to Costco stuff. I mean, stuff be wasted, man. Like,
it started with
big.
Emmy. Emmy talked about she likes to go to the Costco. And then Beeman said, I freaking love Costco. He says, I love a slice of pizza every now and then.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Maybe a chicken bake.
I love the chicken bake.
Like once a year.
I always think of Jay for the chicken bake.
Chicken bake is the
I can't
truth.
imagine Costco pizza being good, man.
It's good, man.
I'm a pizza snob, being from Chicago. So
Good.
I do look down my nose at.
So you're a pizza purist, but you're not. So you turn down pizzas? Like
No.
I've never turned down a slice of pizza.
No, bad pizza is still pretty. It's
Thank
still,
you.
but I'm not going to pay money for it. I'll just put it.
It's $1.99 without tax.
Still, I don't know. Emmy says, love Costco's pizza, get every few weeks, miss their combination. Manny says, chicken bakes are bomb.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I rarely have that as well. Let's see. And then, Willie had to get in the conversation. He said, I love the legs and thighs from rotisserie chicken. Also said, easy.
They sound like me.
Says, I love tuna
not the chicken,
steaks,
though.
Alaska King salmon, and steelhead speckled sea trout fillets.
Oh, you're sexy.
With tartar sauce on it. He also says Wagyu burgers with cheese from Arby's are one of his favorites. With curly fries, he tells Manny.
Wagyu from Arby's.
And apple juice. Yeah, that's
apple
like
juice.
pizza from Costco. Wagyu from Arby's.
Stop.
And then Willie
It's not
says for dinner, boneless beef ribs, Caesar salad with Italian dressing, fettuccine Alfredo, garlic butter, bread, and Arbor Mist Cherry Red Moscato. Go get it, Willie.
Man, that boy,
Go get it,
that
man.
boy Willie be in it. He likes the finer delicatessens in this world, brother. Let me tell you.
He also tells us.
I eat well.
He also tells us I go to my doctor next month for my yearly physical /
Good luck.
checkup.
Hell yeah.
For real.
Good luck.
Best of luck to you, Willie.
In my taking voice.
Yes.
And he also he just added, as we're talking about this, says Chicago style deep dish is my favorite. I love some Chicago style deep dish.
It's trash because you're eating tomato.
I am bringing
soppy dough.
Stop it. Don't
pie.
do that.
So that's
I
so
am
gross.
bringing Costco pizza for snack exchange.
Yeah.
And I have no choice but to eat it.
You got to put it on your taste buds.
Simone already tricked me into eating some cauliflower pizza in one of our snack exchanges or whatever the hell that was.
It was pineapple.
We'll hit a quick break. Let's hear from, was it pie? It was something. It was something that should not be on pizza. We'll hear from Beno Udrih, former King, now scout for the Atlanta Hawks. It's the callback, and it's next.
The Kings are running it back.
Hammers it off the dribble against Gobert, and he was fouled. Oh, my, what a take that time by Domantas Sabonis. And eludes Gobert. That's strong. Two-hand flush off the dribble, thrown down by Trey Lyles.
And welcoming some new faces.
Yes, I love this. Toby Jones with 2 more.
Now they go to Duarte in the corner for 3, and he rains it down.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0
down with approved credit.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Attention home services contractors who want to grow their business with more leads while leveraging their marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors from architects to landscapers to participate in our advertising co-op. For less than $2,100 per month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. And because there's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, your lead potential is unlimited. Generate more leads than you ever thought possible. Be one of only 3 subcontractors in a category and receive $1 million a year in advertising by leveraging the power of a united group. That's subcontractorsunited.com or Google Subcontractors United for more information. But hurry, categories are filling up.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Simone with your Sactown Sports headlines. For the first time in Home Run Derby history, a father and son are home run champions as Toronto Blue Jay star Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hoisted the Home Run Derby hardware in Seattle last night after bombing 25 long balls in a nail-biting finish.
16 years after his father won the Home Run Derby in San Francisco, Vlad Jr. wins it in Seattle.
The 2023 MLB All-Star Game is going down tonight, and we have your one-stop shop for everything Midsummer Classic related over at SactownSports.com. Over in the desert, the Sacramento Kings couldn't get in the win column last night as they fell to the Clippers 80-70, but are back in action tonight when they square up with the Bulls. Tip-off scheduled for 7. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Now back to Sactown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Back with you here on Sactown Sports. Ramie Mackloff, Jay Johnson in the co-host chair, Simone on the other side of the glass. Before we get out of here, a famous, but maybe now infamous NFL fan was finally stopped on his crime spree. We'll get to that at about 5:45. But earlier, as we get into the callback, we had Beno Udrih join us on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And Beno, obviously a longtime King and NBA player, now a scout with the Atlanta Hawks, and he has that experience, Jay, of coming over from overseas to play in the United States, like Wemby is doing right now, like Sasha Vezenkov is going to attempt to do with the Kings when the regular season gets started. And you asked him, Jay, about what is that process like of coming over here to play basketball?
I mean, yeah, it's not an easy task, but, you know, if you're willing to work at your game and, you know, willing to listen and willing to grow, you know, anything is possible. And I heard Victor is a really, like, true pro. So he's already ready. I mean, he was playing pro overseas. He was preparing himself to be on this stage for a very long time. So I think, you know, the future is very, very, very bright for him.
So there he is saying, Jay, that it's a difficult thing, man. And I can't even imagine. I mentioned on the air about my dad being an immigrant and coming over from across the globe in his early 20s, and that blows my mind every time I think about it. You know what I mean? And he didn't even have the spotlight of the entire NBA world and TMZ and anybody else, you know, shining down on him or whatever the case might be. That's a difficult thing, man. And I hate to keep coming back to it. Like, we do it comedically, but it does sort of illustrate what we're talking about here. He immediately got a taste of what American media is, becoming, you know, a headline on TMZ with his incident with Britney Spears when talking about Victor Wembanyama. That is a task in and of itself before we even get to anything basketball related, is adjusting to coming overseas like these guys are trying to do.
100%. The fact that you run into a pop, as they call her, the pop princess, and you're a part of that melee of whatever that happened, you definitely got your first taste. It's definitely difficult, Ramie. I mean, just to you know, on an everyday grind, if you were to leave, you know, something that you were very similar in your building, you live in your building, right? And then you've been there for 2 years, 5, you know, all your life, you've been in that building. Then you jump over to a new neighborhood. It's going to take some adjustment, right? I mean, it's just part of it. You want to know where the local store is, the local, you know, bar, your local hangout, the local pool. You know, it's just definitely a different adjustment.
For sure. And I asked Bano.
That's a small
I asked
version of it.
I asked Bano, is the bigger adjustment on the court or off the court, and some of the life stuff that we're talking about?
I mean, yeah, it's not an easy task, but, you know, if you're willing to work at your game and, you know, willing to listen and willing to grow, you know, anything is possible. And I heard Victor is a really, like, true pro. So he's already ready. I mean, he was playing pro overseas. He was preparing himself to be on this stage for a very long time. So I think, you know, the future is very, very, very bright for him.
Yeah, man, that's and you just touched on it, Jay, which is that all the day-to-day life stuff is probably the big, like, you come over here, and I know I didn't move across the world, but as somebody who moved halfway across the country to come and take this job, for me, the job was kind of the easiest part, because it was what I know, you know what I mean, where I didn't know anything about my neighborhood or the surrounding area. It was kind of an escape, you know what I mean, being able to come here every day and forget about all the day-to-day life stuff. So that I would imagine is the same thing for these athletes. If Sasha Vezenkov or Wemby are struggling with the off the court adjustment, I think going to the practice court or having a game that night can actually be a good thing. It's familiar, it's fun, it's a distraction. You know what I mean? And you don't think about all that other stuff that comes with the day-to-day life of moving across the world.
Great point. I mean, that's the one thing we talk about, you know, in sports where you always traded. We're always talking about trades, but you don't really put out there what that person and that family has to go through, where they have to uproot their family and change addresses. And, you know, that's difficult. Who likes to move? No one likes to move. Right? I've never met a person like, oh, you know what? I enjoy moving.
I've done a lot of it in the last 4 years, and it sucks.
I'm trying to tell you.
It does. It's the worst. And then he talked a little bit, Jay, about how great the Spurs organization was and how that set him up for success. And I asked him, do the Kings got something going here and moving in the right direction, or was that just one good year?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, first hiring Mike Brown was a really, really good thing for them. I mean, I play against Mike Brown, and I heard things about him, and he's like on point. There's no double standards, and in basketball, you can't have double standards. You got to treat everybody the same. Like, if somebody makes a mistake, you got to try to teach. And he did a really good job, put the Kings back on track, and I think we're gonna be watching Kings in the playoffs, for quite a while now.
I've asked a few people, Jay, since the season ended about, is this team genuinely headed in the right direction, or was that just one good year, a fluke, if you will? And they all say something to the effect of what Bano just said, which is yes, they are. And the first thing or person that they always point to is Mike Brown, who when they hired him, one of the things I loved about the hire was this is a dude who came in with a reputation and some credibility. And that's what you hear from other players, other coaches, scouts like Bano Udrih, folks in the media, is that he instantly brought some credibility to this franchise and then backed it up with the way that he coached these guys and the results that they got. Monte McNair has made a lot of good moves. He maybe has not made a better move than hiring Mike Brown. Exactly. Thank you. when you talk about getting this thing and keeping this thing on the right track after a lot of dysfunction and a lot of losing for this franchise,
the base and the foundation, the stability, the concrete, something to build off, your spring off. Monte McNair choosing Mike Brown over what we heard was Mark Jackson was probably the finalist with Mike Brown. Yes. Most people thought. And I'm not saying Mark Jackson wouldn't have brought stability because he's been in the league for a long time. He's worked with guys, as we know, Klay Thompson, Draymond, and Steph, just like Mike Brown. But he wasn't there for the championship run. And the other part about this, Ramie, and I know you can definitely agree, and Simone as well, sometimes when you do something for the first time, you learn, right? 9 times out of 10, you pretty much learn from that. And then you get the second opportunity, no matter if it was successful or not. And then you kind of take what you did the first time and make things a little bit better. And then, if you're blessed enough to kind of do the same thing and get a third try, like Mike Brown, you might be able, as they say, third time's a charm. You might be able to take the things that you learned the first and the second time on top of in between those times. And now you might be cooking with some grease here, Ramie. And that might be what we see with Mike Brown is maybe he's finally figured out the algorithm of being a head coach, manipulating certain players, the plays, the different things that you have to do on the road, and being just an overall top-notch head coach. This is his third time, his third try, his third opportunity, albeit he's coached some of the greatest to ever play, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James. I mean, come on now. We're talking about somebody that's a pillar in the NBA community.
Yep.
And now it's kind of starting to show for Mike.
And I think those guys that he coached and to leave on good terms with those guys and with their respect, the LeBron James and Kobe Bryants of the world, and to have a Greg Popovich endorsement, you know what I mean? Like that carries a lot of weight in the basketball world.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And like I said, instantly brought some credibility to the Kings as an organization. That was, of course, our discussion with Bano Udrih, former King, now a scout with the Atlanta Hawks. You can hear the whole thing at SactownSports.com, on our app, YouTube.com/Sactown Sports. And he joined us on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Thank you, Simone. Appreciate that.
It was interesting timing.
On the other side, when you see those dudes who are way too into their football team, and you're like, there's something wrong with that guy. There's something off with that dude. Turns out we were right. We'll explain next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight with overnight lows dropping down into the low to mid 60s. A warm day tomorrow with highs in the mid to upper 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $79. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 69635.
The story of the nurse and the foot pain that nearly brought him down.
I feel like I'm giving people their lives back.
Robert lived to take care of his patients, but he couldn't do it unless he took care of his foot pain.
I have plantar fasciitis. It'll almost put you on your knees. That's how much it hurts.
His own recovery started when he got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now that I'm pain free, I can make these people feel better.
Can't beat that. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com. The universal truth of women's shoes. The cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lisa Ann thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Are you ready for an incredible pre-owned blowout at Elk Grove Kia? Elk Grove Kia has got you covered with over 300 used cars, SUVs, vans, and trucks available. Every single one of our vehicles has gone through an extensive 150-point inspection, so you can buy with complete confidence. We stand by our cars and offer a bring-it-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, simply return it. Worried about your credit? Don't be. At Elk Grove Kia, we have 100 years of combined experience in helping our customers get the best financing options available. Charge-offs, repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, no problem. Our team specializes in finding solutions for every credit situation. But before you even step foot in our dealership, let us show you what we can do for you. Give us a call or visit our website, and our dedicated team will work with you to find the perfect vehicle and the best financing options. Elk Grove Kia is your destination for incredible pre-owned deals. Visit us today at Elk Grove Kia, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com.
Turn your highway into a smile way. Elk Grove Kia.
During a Flex Alert, let's do the dishes after 9.
What about the laundry?
It can wait until tonight, or even the morning.
The AC?
It's at 78. Let's cool the house in the morning.
All right, so we're just chilling until 9.
Pretty much. And we can help avoid a power outage.
Putting off chores for later and hanging out with my best friend? I love Flex.
Maybe you should just unplug the appliances downstairs.
Good idea. Better acoustics in the basement.
California, the power is ours with Flex Alerts. Flex Alerts, the power is ours.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Final segment of the show this afternoon. My guy, Double J, in the co-host chair, crushing it all day. Simone on the other side of the glass, crushing it just as hard on the updates and the ones and twos. Henry Turner in that co-host chair tomorrow.
I'll roll out.
Kenny Thomas on Thursday. I will try not to hit Henry with my car tomorrow.
I remember that.
I almost did already once.
He's a big fella. I don't know how you managed.
I explained already, and I'm sure I'll have to explain to Henry again tomorrow how that happened. Honest mistake. There was no malintent. I would never hit the man with my car. Seems like a fine gentleman. We'll find
Allegedly.
out. We'll find out more tomorrow. But Jay, are you familiar with the Chiefsaholic? You know who I'm talking about when I say Chiefsaholic?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. For those who don't know, if you've ever watched a Chiefs game, home or road, you've probably seen this dude in full wolf outfit and full Chiefs outfit over the wolf costume. All right. You've seen him. He's wearing sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of these like crazy fanatics who,
find something to do.
Gain some kind of fame by this gimmick that he has and being a quote unquote super fan. Well, he tweeted out, this was, when was this? In December, just back in December. He said, after graduating KSU in 2016, I was working a warehouse job, making $12 an hour. Today, I manage multiple warehouses throughout the Midwest region and make an excellent living, and I'm only 28 years old. Hard work pays off, and don't let anyone, all caps,
bragging,
tell you otherwise. Which that's a cool success story, right?
I got you.
Unfortunately, it's not real or true. Turns out that Chiefsaholic, aka Xavier Michael Babudar, better known as Chiefsaholic, was robbing banks, and that's how he found enough money to follow the Chiefs around the country and get a very realistic looking wolf costume and a Chiefs outfit to put over his wolf costume.
Oh, man.
And he was arrested right here, not here, but in Lincoln, California on July. So how far away are we from
Lincoln is right up the road.
Is that where you guys went to see Bill Burr? Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that is where we were to see. Well, he was arrested in Lincoln,
Are you
California.
serious?
He was trying to hit Thunder Valley?
Just a few days ago. I just put those pieces together. From the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Missouri, he was charged with 1 count of bank theft and 1 count of transporting stolen property across state lines. Babudar, 28, was initially arrested in December in connection with an armed robbery at the Tulsa Teachers Credit Union in Bixby, Oklahoma. He was scheduled to be arraigned in March, but failed to show up for a court hearing and allegedly removed his ankle monitor, leading him to be placed on the Greater Kansas City Crime Stoppers Most Wanted Fugitives list. Following his December arrest, FBI investigators began reviewing bank and casino transaction records to determine the extent of Babudar's potential criminal activities, and they determined that he had purchased and redeemed more than $1 million in chips from casinos in Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois between April and December of 22. According to court affidavit, investigators reviewed unsolved bank robberies in the Midwest during that time period and placed Babudar's cell phone in the same locations of robberies in Nebraska, Iowa, Tennessee, and Oklahoma, as well as 2 attempted robberies in Minnesota. Babudar allegedly stole $70,000 from Great Western Bank in C Live on March 2nd, 2002, and transported the stolen money across state lines to Missouri, according to the affidavit. Also, the same amount of money was deposited into Babudar's bank account over the next 6 weeks. He did make a court appearance Monday in the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of California, right here in Sacramento. And his case will be presented to a federal grand jury to determine whether he'll be indicted on any federal charges.
Ozark money cleaning scheme casinos is going on here.
That's what he was doing. He was robbing these banks, taking the money, going to casinos, buying chips, and then cashing them in to wash this money, to launder this money that, it's got serial numbers and who else knows what identifiers it might have on it. So he was just going from casino to casino. And you're right. He was probably headed to Thunder Valley.
Yes.
Shout out Thunder Valley.
Shout out
Sponsor on the station to cash in another $1 million in chips.
Where's John Walsh when you need him, man? I'm just saying. And you know what? You know what this tells me? And this really solidifies it for me, Ramie.
What's that?
You just can't trust Chiefs. The Chiefs fans, man.
You remove a vampire.
Absolutely.
Why not?
You can't trust a Chief fan.
Why not?
And you can't. And anybody who's rooting for for the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to keep your eye on.
What the Chiefs do to you?
They took Mac Dre.
I'm just saying. There. Come on now, speak on it, Simone. Took one of the greatest in Kansas City. Took that man's life.
I've already had my problems as a 49er fan. Oh, yeah, Jay, you too. Yeah, you get it.
See, for me, what this tells me
I don't
is
trust the Chiefs fans.
You can't trust any of these psychos that are quote-unquote super fans.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Fireman Ed, is that the dude?
Denver?
The Jets? The Jets guy?
I knew exactly.
He wears the fireman hat. He does the JETS, Jets.
Denver's the barrel guy.
That guy's, I'm sure, done some stuff. I'll just leave it at that. You ever seen the guy at Packers games?
No.
Who's got an entire, like, first of all, he's got on like shoulder pads that are like green
The ones
and
with
yellow.
the icicles
and
coming off
he's got an entire Lambeau Field on his head.
Okay.
Yes, Simone, you're talking about the same guy.
Okay.
He's got an entire Lambeau Field on his head and icicles
That's right.
hanging off his
course.
face.
Yeah,
Stay
dude's
away
delusional.
from stay away
Yeah,
from that
you're
guy.
right. That's
All
right.
these guys. All these dudes, and it's always guys, by the way. I'm not using guys
Yes.
in like it's always guys.
Yes.
All of them, stay away from them. There's something wrong with them dudes. the dudes with the spiked shoulder pads at
for the
Raiders
Raiders?
games, the Road Warriors.
One of them dudes a lawyer?
Is he?
I believe something
Wouldn't
like that.
represent me, I'll tell you that right now.
Bill Burr has a great bit on that, and he was specifically leaning into the Warrior or the the Raiders.
The Raiders guys?
Yes.
Don't trust any of those dudes.
He's like, is it the circus? Is it the theater right now? Like, he's just going on.
I trust two. I got two in my mind.
Who's that? All right.
One, Clipper Darrell.
Okay.
Clipper Darrell, good dude, super cat.
All right.
Appreciate it. And super fan for the Raptors, Nav Bhatia.
I don't know that I've heard of him.
Yeah, he went to the Hall of Fame a couple seasons ago.
Really?
They inducted him into the Hall of Fame.
As a fan?
As a super fan. Yeah, we had him on the show.
Really?
Yeah, good dude.
That's
Nav
cool.
is a real good dude.
That's very cool.
Yeah, super
Nice.
fan for the Raptors. But they don't dress up with spikes on this show. Now,
Full wolf costume.
Clipper Darrell's got the blue and red suit.
Look at this
Yeah,
psycho.
that dude is ridiculous.
Look at this weirdo.
He's a
And his
Chief.
wolf costume.
He's a Chief fan.
With
That's
a
what
Chiefs
you.
tank
Wow,
top
how could you
over it.
like the Chiefs, man?
Unfortunately, I keep having this image pop up of the gentleman who was in the January 6th, who was wearing the horns. I keep that one we keep referencing
He's a Viking
it. So I'm like,
almost, yeah.
I keep having to change
The
my
Q
mind.
shaman.
Yes,
Yeah, I know
and it's
what you're
all,
talking
yes,
about, yeah.
exactly. And the fur of it all.
That's
So
very
I
much
apologize.
that's very much the same guy. No, don't apologize. They're all crazy. It's the same
It's on
dude.
brand.
It's the same dude. But you know what? The first image that popped into my head, and I don't know, I haven't seen any footage of these robberies, but I really, really hope
Is it a suit?
that he robbed all these banks in the wolf costume with the Chiefs gear on. I'm really, really hoping
He was in the suit.
to see some surveillance footage of Chiefsaholic full wolf costume.
Stiff arming
full Chiefs guard. Yes. Yes.
Hitting the edge.
Yes.
Getting out of
Robbing
there.
the bank and stiff arming fools on his way out the bank.
Dude is
I need to see that surveillance footage.
ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Man, again, you don't trust. You're saying don't trust a super fan. I'm saying don't trust the Chief fan. Same. I mean, no difference in that.
Don't trust
man.
that guy. Don't
Yeah.
trust Chiefsaholic. His mugshot, like out of the wolf costume, he looks like a dude you should not trust.
I wonder. I mean, this is a stupid question. People don't rob banks as much as cut the Western back in the day.
Sure.
What do you get if you rob a bank these days?
They said they only specified in one of the
One.
robberies
He's only-
he got out with $70,000.
Yeah.
But he bought $1 million in chips, so he's made
he's hitting
banked
banks.
at least $1 million.
I
with
always
these
thought that
robberies.
was going to be a bigger problem after all of like Heat and all of those
Yes.
kind of 90s movies. I always thought I was like,
I
for
love
sure
Heat.
I'm going to be hostage and I'm just going to listen to them and get down on
I've
the
never
ground.
thought about robbing a bank. I just want to be clear about
Okay.
that. But I have thought, like, could I get away with it? Like you try to, you watch a movie or whatever,
The Town.
and you're like,
Oof.
could I come up with the perfect plot,
Scheme.
with the perfect bank? You know what I mean? I don't know.
What do you think, really quickly? What would your like specialty be? Are you the getaway driver? Hypothetically, allegedly.
I got like people tell me I got a loud voice, so I'd be the guy who walks and goes, "Everybody down on the ground!" You know what I mean? In like a really loud, intimidating way. I think that'd be my role. Our thanks to Beno Udrih, scout for the Atlanta Hawks, longtime king, for joining us. If you missed
Put
that,
the money in the bag.
Put the money in the bag. All your jewelry in the bag.
Don't do that over there.
If you missed anything on today's
see
show, check it out. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports, the app, the website, 1140. Henry Turner is in tomorrow. Thanks to Jay.
2
Thanks
minutes.
to Simone.
2 minutes. We gotta go.
Thanks to you guys out there. We'll talk to you again tomorrow at 2. Get the money in the bag.
Sactown Sports is your source for the 49ers.
That was all. It was all.